Fly sequence now.
Morning, folks.
It's a real thing.
The Edge Morning Show.
We're now in the approach phase. Everything looking good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Welcome to the Edge Morning Show.
With Chris Knight, Eric Johnson, Fox 2's Faust, and Tabitha Hassell.
The Edge starts now.
Good morning. What day is it?
Monday, June 14th, is Flag Day.
Today is Monday.
Today is Flag Day.
Now raise that flag.
Raise the flag.
Raise the flag.
Here they come! Raise the flag!
You're a grand old flag.
We'll find true love on Flag Day. Why, it's Flag Day today.
I take your position. It's showtime.
Hey, it is showtime. Welcome to the Edge. And you should, I repeat, you should, and I will tell you, you should appreciate the flag, and you should fly it high. The stars and the stripes, you should. Why not? Why not? This is America, where we need the patriotism. I don't care what party you're a part of. That flag represents our entire country, despite people who try to say the flag doesn't represent something good or something of honor. It's Flag Day. I like flags. I love flags. I do.
Are you a fan of Sheldon Cooper's Fun with Flags?
What?
Did you ever watch Big Bang Theory?
Oh, okay, I got it.
He used to have that podcast,
Yes.
Fun with Flags.
Anyway, happy Flag Day. Happy Monday, everybody. June 14th, almost through the month of June. Time's going too fast. Eric Johnson will be here shortly. Chris Knight's on vacation. He'll be back
Tomorrow, supposedly.
tomorrow. That's the voice of Brendan Shanahan. Tabitha Hassell.
I'm ready for Flag Day.
Oh, she's got.
I've got my 1776 Freedom
Brendan,
shirt
can you
on.
please hit Tabitha up so people can see
I don't think
her?
you can see my shirt on that camera.
Oh, well, back up
Go on
then.
your tiptoes.
If I stand really tall.
We don't want to give Eric any
And she's wearing
ammunition.
American flag shorts.
Tabitha, you got to show the shirt.
I did. I just stood on my tippy toes.
Go stand next to Vic.
What the heck is that?
That's the best I can do.
17. Is there any?
And it says freedom on the back.
Okay, here's what you need to do. You need to jump up on the desk on your knees and
Just
show,
jump up and down.
and then you'll be at the same height as me, and then you can show your shirt.
I will never be the same height as you unless I stood on this counter.
No, that's what I'm saying. Get on your knees. Show that her shirt.
1776
You can kind of see
forever.
this 1776 if I stand up.
And did you
Forever
wear that
free.
because of Flag Day?
I wore it for two reasons. One, because of Flag Day, and two, to represent the freedoms that we are losing every single day, especially today, which is a subject I'm sure we'll get into later.
We got a lot to get into later.
In which, yeah, the judge in Texas ruled that people actually can be forced to take vaccinations.
Well, there's more to that story coming up, and it has not happened yet. We'll get into that.
Sure.
Yes, I'm trying to focus on that shirt, but it also looks like the front of it's like all ripped off.
Well,
like,
I cut the neck out because it was a man's shirt that went up to my chin.
Oh, so you.
So it is modified.
She did a little flash dance with it.
This is the shirt Dr. Naputi gave all of us. We should all be wearing it.
I didn't get one of those.
It looked like you got in a fight and somebody
I did.
ripped the
I
collar.
didn't
got
get
in a
one of
fight.
those. I didn't get one of those.
Yes,
No,
you did.
You did. You just walked past it.
We all had one.
I do?
Yeah, Dr. Naputi brought all of us one.
I'd wear it. I'd wear that right now.
I
Not
thought-
that one.
I thought you did wear it
Yeah,
one
you
day.
would. Sure, you would. That looks like a stage shirt for you, like the pirate-esque shirt.
I thought you
like
did
all
wear it
ripped
one day.
apart.
No, I never saw
Dr.
that.
Naputi brought these in for us.
Okay.
Are you sure? I could swear I saw you wear this shirt one day. Dr. Naputi brought all of these in when he was having that
Don't
Freedom
make
concert.
Eric remember.
Yeah,
I
don't
think
do
Eric-
that.
Eric's had a long weekend.
Yes.
He's been abducted by aliens many times and he forgets because I know I saw you wear this shirt one day.
Okay.
Well, the shirt says 1776, forever free, freedom on the back. And unfortunately, Tabitha is vertically challenged this morning and
Every
every day. So
Every
the
morning.
camera doesn't show her whole freaking shirt. You'll have to come over to my... Can you come over and just show the shirt? This camera will
Yeah,
get
go
it,
ahead.
won't
Go
it?
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
We're talking way too much about it on Facebook. If you're on
Move
Facebook.
your mic just a little bit. There you go. Step back, Tab.
Yeah.
Step back. Back up. There you go.
Tabitha, you can't wear that in public. That's not something you can wear in public. Your mom wouldn't like that. Come on. Too much cleavage.
not for our audience. The
I-
Facebook's going crazy.
There's no cleavage.
Anyway, that's Tabitha Hassell.
And my comments aren't working, so I can't see the comments anyway.
Mine either.
Mine are
Yet
working
again.
just fine.
And I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Happy Monday, everybody. Glad you're here. The gang's all here besides Chris. We do some tidy workup. We got a lot of subjects to talk about today. 636-695-2915. 636-695-2915. You can stream us at viperrocks.com. 2 R's, viperrocks.com. And, of course, on Facebook right now, 100.7 The Viper. And we love it when you share the show. Fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. We love opinions from everybody. Everybody has a voice. Everybody sits at this table. You're welcome. Let us know if you agree, disagree, and, of course, you can involve the chat. Eric, getting caught up on housekeeping business. You were in Iowa for the weekend?
Yes.
What happened with your experience? COVID, vaccines, party, people, the band?
Yeah, good. We had a concert at U.S. Cellular Arena up there, and it was in Cedar Rapids, not Cedar Falls, if anybody's listening. I accidentally called. I said, thank you,
Yeah, you
Cedar
did.
Falls.
On the
mic.
had one of those rock
I
moments?
did. I never thought that would happen to me.
We love you, Springton.
I go,
Did you really?
I said, you guys rock. Thank you, Cedar Falls. And in my in-ears, I heard, boo.
No!
Yes, I did. I hate myself right now. Let's not even talk about it. Let's move on.
So
Moving
did
on.
Did you say anything? No.
Back to COVID.
So you're Joe Biden.
Yes.
You needed somebody to say, Eric,
I
focus,
hate it.
Indiana's my
focus.
favorite state.
I hate it. Anyway.
We're just going to
So
call you
did
Biden
you
all
say
day.
anything else after they booed you? Did you apologize really fast?
I
You
did.
go, Oh,
I
man,
said,
I'm sorry.
I'm a freaking idiot. It's Cedar Rapids. And I almost said Cedar Falls again. So,
Okay,
no,
but-
it was cool.
But
It was
going
cool.
into the concert, and the reason I brought it up last week,
Yeah.
you said you were looking forward to seeing it because this was your first experience
You know
at
what?
an arena indoors.
Well, it was, so I think, so this was about a, 7,500 seat venue. And I think this was an experiment for this place to say, is it over? How do we deal with it? Well, you know how you deal with it? You open the doors and you promote a night of having a good time and people want to come out. There was nobody wearing masks. COVID's over, people. I don't know who's telling you otherwise. It's just
nobody.
it's gone.
I don't think anybody is.
I don't
anymore.
even know that we have-
Tabitha, I don't think anybody's really.
I didn't see a mask all weekend.
I saw a mask this morning. I had to go early to get my son some breakfast. I had Schnucks, and I was out of some things. Not only did I see one mask of a guy, he was one of the shoppers. They go
The
by your-
Instacarts?
Instacart. Looked around my age. Then as I was leaving, I saw another woman walking in, elderly woman with a mask on.
They had masks. They were making kids wear masks at Francis Howell Summer School.
So time out. We did a story on this on Thursday
Here
of
we go.
last week.
Here we
Okay,
go.
they're not mandatory.
Oh, okay. There was
They're not
all
man-
these kids wearing them.
No, they're optional, is
Okay.
what we were told. That's the school districts: Wentzville, Francis Howell, Fort Zumwalt,
Yeah.
the Parkway, and Rockwood was all optional.
Yeah, there was a
For summer
ton of
school.
kids walking in with masks on.
That's
I bet-
embarrassing.
I bet I'm not.
They just
kidding
didn't
you.
know.
That's embarrassing.
They didn't know, and I'm telling you, teachers are telling kids because I know of a football coach who said, "You guys better be." This was that story that we were told.
Right.
That Dr. Naputi said, "You better be vaccinated, or we quote expect you to be vaccinated to take trips with us this summer." Well, when Dr. Naputi just made calls, they're like, "Oh no, that shouldn't have been it, and we're sorry." And then they sent an email back out saying, "No, you're not expected to get vaccinated." This was about a month ago. We encourage it.
Disney just got rid of the masks too.
I saw that. I saw
That's
Disney
huge.
getting rid of the mask as well.
Is it full boat or is it? Are they
All gone.
So all masks are gone and all limitations on the crowds.
Technically, you're supposed to be vaccinated, but they're not checking.
That's what I'm seeing a lot of. If you see a store, it says this facility is for if you've been vaccinated, you can now take your mask off. But if you haven't been vaccinated, we still request that you wear it. What are you going to do? I mean, seriously, you're going to walk up to the manager and say, blah, da, 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 I haven't been vaccinated. Look at me. I have no mask. I mean, what are you going to do? I think that that's the way that they're going to end this thing. It's like the honor system, and it's just not going to work. People are done with it. We can move on, never talking about COVID ever again.
Take a penny, leave a penny.
No,
Never.
Eric.
Never,
Eric,
never.
I wish we could.
Moving
but
on
we
to more
can't.
important things.
But also talking about moving on, tonight, for the first time since 2019, for those who care, because the team sucks and so does the management decisions before the season. from a pitching standpoint. Cardinals open up full capacity tonight.
Nice.
If they can
Nice.
sell, if they can sell out. I'm sorry.
They will.
They piss me
Come
off.
on,
They hoped on pitching at the start of the year, and I'm not going to turn it into a sports. Oh, well, if this happens and this happens, look, we've got all these pitchers, and it's like, okay, you got one guy you can really count on. And then now he got hurt.
Yeah.
And I'm just frustrated.
How about a week long?
So the Cardinals have lost
I
10
know.
of 11 games. They're a game
not
under
important.
500.
It's not important.
They're six. Yeah,
It's
they're
not
6
important.
games behind the Cubs. They're not going to the playoffs, and it just sucks.
I know it sucks.
And you wanted the Cardinals to be playing better when they opened up for full capacity.
It's full capacity
tonight.
Let's just go 1 week, 7 days of just being ecstatic about full capacity. Go have a hamburger down in the bleacher section.
True. That's true.
Just go out and have a nice night in St. Louis, looking up at a nice clear sky with 80-degree weather.
Well, and
Let's
then
one week.
This week is going to be nice too.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
A little on the warm side for some, but very, especially in the evenings.
I feel like I'm way too optimistic for this show right now.
No,
because
keep it, go with it.
You mean every day? You mean every day?
Huh? For every day, right?
Every day.
But I'm excited to see 45,000 people in that place, and you will watch.
Okay, from the Facebook line, Wentzville still requires masks for summer school. We did a story Thursday that said Wentzville School District was not requiring it; that it was optional. Now I'm very confused. And Katie from the line said Wentzville's still requiring masks. I'd be curious to see a letter that was sent or something of that nature if you're still listening, because literally we did the story last week. Hey, they're not requiring them. It's only optional.
I will say one thing, and this is a little concerning, and I would not mind tuning back into Fox 2 tonight and finding out what's going on. If you look at Missouri, and I'm not trying to spread any fear, it's turning red again with variants or whatever. There's areas around Missouri where every state was becoming like yellow and green and not. Now that we're starting to get these outbreaks in these counties, like up in northern Missouri.
That only happened.
I know, but I don't understand.
And why are
that
people
is.
still testing? That's what I don't understand.
Well,
Why are you still testing? You know something I've noticed a big shift in? Now when somebody has the sniffles or some little thing, they think, oh my God, I need to get tested for something. I need to go to the doctor. Before COVID, no one felt that way. You didn't feel good. You had the sniffles. You're like, oh, I'll probably get over it in a couple days. And if your symptoms become severe, then maybe you'll call a doctor.
Yeah,
but now
I
all of a
think it's a
sudden,
little too simplistic.
allergies, everybody's like, oh, I got to go get COVID tested.
Well,
why do you have to go get COVID tested? Why are people still testing for COVID?
Because I looked down at the Facebooks and I saw someone said something about the Delta variant. And I go, okay, yeah, I'm kind of hearing the same thing.
And there's a lot of different variants. There's a lot of different variants to the flu and the common cold. But you know what? People need to erase the brainwashing and go back to how we were pre-COVID. When you get sick, if you have symptoms that are severe enough where you need to go to the ER, then guess what? Go to the ER. If you have the sniffles or allergies or whatever, take an allergy pill. See if it helps. Go back to the way things used to be. There's no reason to rush to the doctor, rush to the ER.
Agree.
Because you feel like, oh, maybe I have COVID.
Well, I was able to look up that situation in Wentzville. What it is masks are optional when outdoors for everybody, staff and school, but they're still required indoors when you can't social distance. So once again, I mean, and who's deciding whether you can social distance or not? It's very, very odd. Very odd.
Yeah.
Very, very, very.
The language of all these things seems so weird and vague.
And once again, 100% Francis Howell, it's 100% optional. 100% optional. And maybe that's because it's maybe today. The summer camps begin today, Brendan. That may be it.
Okay.
So anyway, that's what was going on with that. I had a chance to look that up. But lots of, oh crap, I'll get into it right now. Did you realize after all the hypes, after all the campaigns, whether we've chosen to get vaccinated or not, or whatever the case may be for you, after all of this work, time, effort, campaigns, 43% of Missourians have initiated vaccine processes. 43%. That's the latest. 43% of Missouri. After all this, only 40, the way I read that, only 43% of Missourians have even started the process. And here we are in the middle of June.
But we're one of the bigger outbreak states right now.
I mean, come on.
What, Eric? What exactly?
What
is
are
an
you looking
outbreak?
at?
And what?
Not outbreak. I don't want to sound like,
Eric,
oh my God, we're in the
Eric,
middle of
there's
a
like
surge.
60 people in the hospital. There's no outbreak.
Okay.
There's no surge.
There was
I'm just dumb enough to look at these dumb COVID charts.
I mean,
and
there was-
Missouri
yeah,
is a
but
red state.
Come on now. There was just an article. I don't know if it was on Fox 2. That's typically the only thing I read, where a guy a nurse, I believe he was, or a doctor, went through a COVID ward, and there was no one there. Not one
there's nothing.
single patient was in the COVID ward, and that was
Tumbleweeds.
here in St. Louis. No one was there.
So does that make a case? And I know everybody hates me bringing this up. Does that make a case that the South American and the British variant and all this stuff?
Well, there's
it
like the
doesn't really,
Alpha, the Delta.
Right.
There's so many different
And that's-
variants,
but,
and there's
I
going
mean,
to
if they're
continue
there,
to be.
If they're there and they spread faster, is it something where it's like maybe this wasn't such a big deal after all? Is that kind of what you're thinking
the
about?
way I'm thinking about it is at this point in time, you've either had COVID and you have your natural immune system response, which could potentially mean you won't catch it again, or you've had the vaccine, or if you're one of those rare people that has not had COVID, which I can't imagine there's anyone right now, unless you're living under a rock, that hasn't been exposed to COVID. I think your destiny has already been outlined for you. You're either going to have no symptoms or you've had the vaccine. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people right now who are going to become deathly ill with
All right,
COVID.
fantastic.
And
I think
from
it's worked its way through our systems.
And for our listeners from the Facebook line, if you live in the area, Francis Howell Board of Education meeting is Thursday. Once again, Thursday at 6:30.
Let's go have some fun,
and
shall we?
people from the Facebook line are saying we need more parents to
Let's
show
go.
up for that.
Let's go.
Okay,
Let's go.
That's all you. I'm working at that time, Eric. But you
Take
can
off.
Yeah, take off. I'm taking off to go to the school
I'll
board
save a
education
seat for
meeting
you and Elliot
Francis
Davis.
Howell.
Myself, you, Elliot Davis, and Chris Hayes will have a good time. I'll bring the cocktails.
All right, we got to take a quick break. Phone number to give us a call, 636-695-2915, 636-695-2915. Of course, share the show on Facebook, 100.7 The Viper. When we come back, we'll talk about what Tabitha brought up, a federal judge ruling when it comes to a hospital. Not all businesses, but a hospital being able to force vaccines, which is very, 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 very interesting. And also, when it comes to the situation, CDC has called a meeting for next week to talk about side effects of vaccines, heart problems. If the CDC has called a meeting where there's smoke, there's fire, and that's public information. Yeah, we'll tell you about it when we come back. You're listening to The Edge. Eric Johnson, Brendan Shanahan, Tabitha Hassell. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Back right after this.
This is the Edge Morning Show.
Live on 100.7.
The Viper.
The Emmaus Home Poker Run fundraiser is this Saturday with an amazing after party. The run goes through Marthasville and Washington. The after party has great live music from the Bullseye WAP brands, delicious food, and of course, ice cold drinks. Be part of this fun fundraiser for Emmaus Homes this Saturday. Registration is at the Emmaus Homes Marthasville office starting at noon. For more info, go to Emmaus Homes on Facebook or emmaushomes.org.
People's Bank and Trust is helping you get a grip on your finances with our new mobile banking service. You can now manage your accounts, check balances, transfer funds, and pay bills all from the palm of your hand. Visit us online at www.pbtc.net for more information and to start using mobile banking. People's Bank and Trust, hometown banking the way it should be. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Travers Automotive and RV is open at their newest location, I-70 at TR Hughes, with an awesome selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Travers Automotive and RV has Ford, Chevy, Ram, Lexus, BMW, Dodge, and Nissan, as well as new RVs from Mesa Ridge and Open Range, and a huge selection of used RVs. Travers Automotive and RV has the largest inventory of lifted truck and Jeep Wrangler in the market. Travers Automotive and RV in their newest location, I-70 at TR Hughes. Online at traversautoandrv.com. Midnight Auto Supply in St. Peters carries a full line of automotive parts and paints. They're a PPG Platinum distributor of automotive paint and industrial coatings and auto body shop supplies. For over 40 years, your hometown auto parts store is Midnight Auto. Stop in at Midnight Auto Supply in St. Peters, just off Mexico Road, 447-4000, 447-4000, on the web at mid-niteautosupply.com. Remember the beautiful pop and hiss listening to a brand new vinyl album? The warmth in the air, the magic of the sound. Vinyl can't be replaced, and vinyl is back. TheFinestVibes.com sells thousands of premium and collector's vinyl with hundreds of albums under $20, delivered straight to your door. Leonard Skinner, Bob Dylan, The Beatles, Prince, AC/DC, Queen, Frank Sinatra. TheFinestVibes.com has them all. Shop now. TheFinestVibes.com.
Fever is a leading symptom of the coronavirus, so take your temperature twice a day with the Exergen Temporal Scanner. It's quick and easy to use, and its accuracy is backed by more than 80 clinical studies. Have your family start and end their day with the only home thermometer used and recommended by hospitals, doctors, and nurses. Your family can take their temperatures in seconds to know where they stand in the fight against COVID-19. Protect your family from the spread of this deadly disease and stay safe with Exergen.
Weber Chevrolet has been in business since 1902. No other car dealer in St. Louis of any brand can say that. Nobody sells more Chevrolet, period. Weber Chevrolet is one dealer with 3 roofs. In Missouri at Olive and 270, and in Illinois Metro East, Columbia, and Granite City. All easy to get to, just follow the 270 loop. Also, all online accessible at WeberChevrolet.com. Right now, Weber Chevrolet is open but very thorough in their cleaning, disinfecting, and social distancing rules. And don't forget, Weber Chevrolet service departments are award-winning and second to none. In fact, other dealers send their problems to Weber Chevy to fix. Now during this crisis, Weber Chevrolet has teamed up with Detroit to come up with awesome deals to help people save money and manage their budget. Discounts, incentives, and the ability to not make your payment for up to 4 months. Weber Chevrolet since 1902, WeberChevrolet.com.
Now, back to the Edge Morning Show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Happy Monday, almost through the entire month of June. No, I'm kidding, halfway through, June 14th. Eric Johnson, Brendan Shanahan in for Chris. Chris took off to Florida, posting pictures. Looks like did he go down and buy a Lamborghini?
I don't know. There's a picture of them by a Lamborghini, a very, very turquoisey blue Lamborghini.
Smurf color?
Yeah, Easter eggy.
It was Robin egg blue.
It looked nice.
It's a beautiful blue.
That's because you're a girl. It's a girl blue. It's a girl blue for sure.
It is a girl blue, but I like it.
And you're a girl. So.
That's right. So it's okay for me to like it.
That's right. Tabitha Hassell, that's her voice. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Thanks for joining us this morning. Coming up a little bit later, we're going to get into a topic. Stick around for this. And this hit home with me. Anyway, a reporter who broke a story of Bill Clinton and Loretta Lynch on a tarmac years ago about Hillary Clinton emails was found dead Saturday morning. 45-year-old healthy man of suicide. Strange?
No, not at all. Him and Vince Foster are having a conversation right
and
now.
Seth Rich, yeah, they're all.
Are you kidding me? Come on.
And no signs of any mental anguish or anything. We're going to get into that. We've had some people ask us this morning, a caller just now.
Yes.
We're going to get into that about 8:35. Just trying to finish up on what we teased. You won't want to miss that. Go read the story. Give us your opinions on that too. It's all over the web, but you won't see it on national media anywhere or local news because it's speculation. But my, oh my, when there's like 50 people, it's crazy. And
how many people do you think that
scared the hell out of me being in media? I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I mean,
careful what you break.
When you look at the Clintons, do you immediately think of the Capones back in the Chicago days? Capone didn't kill anybody directly. He just kind of said, that guy over there, I'm not digging.
I would say he probably did kill some people directly,
but for fun. I'm not saying that.
I don't know. There was nothing in his vault, so we'll never know.
I'm not saying that. You're right. It's conspiratorial. and who knows what
Yeah,
he was
stop
going
with your
through.
conspiracy theories, Eric.
I'm not going to go there.
We're gonna get into that. Tabitha came into the show today very pissed off because a federal judge in Texas said that this hospital, Houston Methodist, can force their employees to get vaccinated. This was an ongoing saga. Employees were basically suspended, given 2 weeks off to go get the vaccine. At least 100 employees hired a lawyer and said this was wrong. You can't force us to do these things. It's Nazi-esque. A federal judge said because it's a pandemic and you're taking care of people, the hospital can force you to get them. Now it's been appealed by the attorney. So once again, nothing can really happen right now. It's gone back to appeals, but this certainly upset you, Tab, because you're talking about over 100 employees at the hospital
178 last week
refusing to get the vaccine.
Correct. And you know, it drives me insane because it is no one's business to manage your health. It's not the government's, business. It's not your employer's business. It's not your friend's business. No one can manage your health. And for them to say you need to get a vaccine when we've had so many different things. I mean, what are they doing for cancer? Are they trying to say, okay, you need to eat better so you don't get cancer. You can't have sugar so you don't get diabetes. None of it just drives me insane.
So I was talking to a prosecutor friend of mine over the weekend, small talk, mainly about golf. But we did talk about some of this stuff. And he goes, and I asked him, he goes, so how's Parsons doing? He's not from Missouri. He goes, how's Parsons doing?
Boy, you read my mind. I was just, what state is he in?
Okay, I'm trying to get him on, see if he will come on. But he's old time. He's an old time Fed guy. And he said, he goes, a lot of these problems are fixed if the governments, if the local governments, if the state governments just outlaw this stuff. Critical race theory becomes nothing in Missouri if they outlaw it. He goes, and I'm assuming he's bringing this up too. He goes, if you don't want to be mandated vaccines, have your government legislators legislate it, and it's dead. There's nothing that anybody can do about it. So I'm wondering if Parsons can just get a little roundtable discussion going, go, what's all the bull crap being pushed through right now?
But it's
and
not,
how do we outlaw it?
It's not going to be up to the state. And the reason why.
Ever. Yes, it is.
No, because it's a national, they call it a national security threat.
27 states.
It's a pandemic, and that takes the law away from the state.
The CDC is not a governing body.
It has nothing to do with the CDC.
All these cases, that's why Sam Page was able to do what he's able to do. And judges were not going to go against the pandemic.
No, I don't. I disagree
it's not
with
up
you
to
a little
state
bit.
legislature.
Sam Page was able to do it because Parsons gave him the leash to do it, to hang himself, and he did hang himself.
That was the first part, but the second part is when you challenge in court, you lose, which was your
what
initial.
Court is going to say, yeah, I don't see any laws on the books of mandating a vaccine.
No, but now you're missing the point.
I am, and
you
I need to understand
the fact, well, you need to go to the judges. No, the judges are ruling and have ruled in favor
not the judges.
Page.
I'm not talking about the judicial.
Once you get to a court system.
Right. You need to have the states with a very firm foot saying mandating a vaccine in this state for anything, private or public businesses, is off limits.
But that can
be done.
It can be overruled because it's not really, when it comes to a national security threat or a global pandemic, then it takes some of the legislature out of the state's hands.
But who's running the ship in that? Who's saying that? So basically what you're doing is you're giving the autopilot to the CDC.
I think people need to try. I think certainly people need to try. And I think under Trump, we had a lot more leeway. But under Biden, they're going to shift to whatever narrative the Biden administration is pushing. That's unfortunate.
Well,
that's why your vote
I know
counts.
there's private businesses right now as we speak that you walk into. It says on with a little pin, "I've been vaccinated," and said person has no mask on their face. If you walk down the hall, another employee has a mask on their face because they don't have said pin on their shirt. So there are mandates corporately right now.
Well, that's not a mandate.
That's not a mandate. That's far and few between.
That's just a company's personal choice.
That's a request.
It's not been to court.
If you haven't been vaccinated, mask up.
Right.
But
you can either
the
be
judge
fired
in this case even cited because it's a hospital, and we think that because we're taking care of people, that's why you need to be vaccinated, despite everything else that we know about vaccines, which is very interesting because, Eric, this is the fact, too, that now you've got you might have some power on your side if you're trying to do that because the CDC came out. Wow. And we all know that reporting is maybe a fourth of what's really going on. And we've seen it from other stats that Dr. Napudi has shown us when it comes to the CDC VAERS reporting and what they've actually done. If the CDC is out now saying, okay, we got to have a meeting about adverse reactions to this vaccine, you always know they've been forced to do this because it goes against them for pushing it. Number two, the numbers are much larger, much larger. CDC says 226 cases. May not sound like a lot because we know there are a whole lot more, and there's people who have died from the vaccine, even though it's not being, quote, reported nationally. 226 cases of myocarditis were identified in people aged 30 or younger who received the Moderna or Pfizer vaccine. And it's more common in males who've had both doses of the vaccine. Chest pain was the most common reported symptom. Young people, as Dr. Conwell from Baylor said, or excuse me, from, I can't remember where he was from. Oh, I'm sorry. Texas Hospital doctor. Dr. Cornwell says that young people, healthy people, typically recover from the condition over time. However, the complications from it have caused concern. So they have now called a meeting for June 18th so that they can figure out, because a lot of what they do is risk-benefit ratio. And they try to apply the things where the benefits are large and the risk are small. So there's issues that are starting to come up with this VAERS reporting. Myocarditis is the big issue now with hearts in males. And sometimes you don't see this for years.
Yeah.
And now you get where it hits you now, and then now, what's going to happen a year from now?
And it's a matter of people going to the doctor and having it checked too, because I have a family member who just happened to be sick after they got the vaccine, and they were giving a chest x-ray and I believe a CT scan, and it showed that they had an enlarged heart. This is a family member. They've never had a heart problem before, and all of a sudden they get the vaccine and they have an enlarged heart.
You know what the quagmire is?
It's higher rates, unusual inflammation of the heart after receiving the COVID-19 vaccine.
Here's the quagmire. Because exactly a year ago, Tabitha Hassell told me and you, Vic, that getting COVID causes blood clots, it causes renal failure, it causes all kinds of
because of the
inflammation.
Blood clots.
It causes inflammation
Correct.
to all of the organs in the human body.
And COVID could cause an enlarged heart as well.
Right.
Correct.
So there's a quagmire there. You really only have one choice if you want to try to get rid of all this. You need to go live in a cave for the next 5 years.
That's true.
That's the only way.
That absolutely is true.
That you can somehow skirt around this. And then there's no guarantee that you won't die of a tick biting you of Lyme disease in that.
Well, people
you know what
are
I'm
saying the risk versus the reward. And it's interesting because if you are one of these people, what was the risk versus the reward with COVID when you said, the numbers aren't that big? We don't, some people...
I remember Bill Hemmer on Fox News.
Because you had one side saying, the survival rate is over 99%.
Yes.
But you're like, oh my God, we got to get a mask. Well, now you have the flip side where you have people saying, wait a second, you've got serious cases, people dying, adverse reactions. But then pro-vaxxers are like, wait a second. It's a small number. It's a small, and it's like, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah. And you know what?
This is concerning.
Of course it is.
It's totally concerning. In talking this thing out,
and nobody wants to hear that if you put the vaccine into your body.
One good thing, right?
Or
no, my dad and my stepmom have gotten it.
Or if you put this into your kids.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine anyone doing this to their children.
Yeah, but the thing is that back when this whole thing started, they said, look, the survival rate is up to date, and it's still the same, 99.0 blah 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 89%, whatever that was. It was a very small amount. The only problem was, instead of like it being the flu, which is a little less contagious, this is massively contagious. And now we're finding out that through the 500,000 people that died, some of those are not even COVID deaths.
Right.
So we don't even know what the data is to actually go on.
And true.
The only data that we really have, and that's why I loved being on this show, is because we did have a Dr. Napudi in here that we could talk to and challenge a little bit. And then we tried to challenge the Faucis of the world. And we learned through talking to him that if you have COVID-19, you're vaccinated. Well, that's not what the press is telling us.
Well, it's better than vaccinated because
Right.
naturally we have to. I want to backtrack
So
to something you said.
That's the good thing about the Edge is that we are literally just having conversations with people who are legitimately experts.
Well, true, but we have
this.
to backtrack to something you said
Sure.
because you were talking about hiding under a rock if you don't want to catch COVID,
Yes,
which
yes,
is true.
yes.
You don't want to catch COVID, but we have to remember the majority of people who had COVID did not get blood clots or any
Correct.
symptoms at all.
Well, are we
and
sure
that's when
about
you're
that?
well, I think that we're sure on that, and that's why you go back to
The majority?
I think the majority of people who had
If you
COVID,
had COVID,
either
the
had mild or no symptoms.
She's right about that.
Mild
She's
or
right
no
about
symptoms.
that.
Now
The
I
majority
understand what
did
you're
not
saying.
have blood clots.
Yes.
Or inflamed hearts, or the crazy inflammation, unless they had the cytokine storm.
Yeah.
And that's when we have to go back to taking your vitamin D and your zinc, and potentially something like ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine, because the people who
Oh,
took
that's
care
another
of
thing right there.
themselves,
The hydroxychloroquine in the
or baby aspirin, the majority of people who had COVID did not develop blood clots or severe inflammation or a cytokine storm. So really, I don't feel like you have to hide from COVID.
You know, the takeaway from this is fascinating because little Tabitha Hassell a year ago said you're the first person I ever heard the word hydrochloroquine, by the way. You brought it into the studio. You're also the first person I ever heard the word ivermectin. And both of those things are now saying, if you took this stuff back in the day, which Trump did, and a lot of people actually did, you didn't die from COVID-19.
That's because, you know why, Eric? Because I read the news. I started talking about COVID on January 7th. On January 7th of 2020. On my Facebook page, because I had been reading the news. If you read
Right.
the news, you find out things way further than what you hear reported.
You need to
on the
go
news.
out and do your own research.
You
like
have to do
Tabitha,
your own
but
research.
you also have to be careful about the research that you're doing because
Correct.
just because you read something doesn't mean it's 100%
And you have
correct.
yes, and you have to look at
And we've
multiple
proven that on
sources.
this radio show as well.
Yeah,
right,
you're
multiple sources.
Yeah, don't just go to Wikipedia.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, and but
Don't do that.
In you know, if you watch Fox 2 in the evening with Vic, or if you watch national news, I'm not talking about CNN and MSNBC, they have an agenda. You do see people in white lab coats coming out that seem very credible, saying you need to get this vaccine to be very safe.
Yes, we've talked about this a million times. Why?
Here's 1,000,001. Because we watch these people and we say they know something that we don't. And it's conspiratorial to think anything other than what Garza is telling me on the evening news. I must go get this damn vaccine. And that's why I sound wishy-washy here on the show. Because I kind of do trust people that have been through 12 years of college and through people that work in this, this department.
But here's the issue, and it's one of those things. All Dr. Garza and the St. Louis County Health Department is doing is following CDC and Dr. Fauci. It's identical. So then you start to look at all of the Fauci emails and the flip-flopping back and forth.
Right.
In this day and age, nobody wants to be held accountable. And sometimes it's human nature. I get it. I understand. Oh, well, that's what they said we have to do, because when you don't know a lot about something, you want to push it off to somebody else, because if you stand up, if you're a leader, if you try to take that road less traveled, you take an opportunity to be sued, to lose your job, to lose things that you've worked for.
Yeah.
That's why it's always easier. Well, and then it goes right down the line. In news, we cover what the St. Louis County Health Department tells us, because that's what it is.
But do you
St.
have
Louis
any
County Health
editorial?
Department says, oh, we get all the information we get from the CDC.
Do you get
And
any
CDC
chance
goes, we get
editorial?
it from Dr. Fauci in the national level.
Do you get any chance to challenge these guys? And
Well,
I'm
but,
sorry.
I know, but
mean,
we've explained this a lot of
I
times. I'll
know,
explain
Vic,
it to you
but
again.
I gotta keep asking the
News
question.
is not editorial. You can go to your newspapers for that.
But go,
TV
thank you, Dr.
news,
Garza. Now we
local
go to the
news
other
gives
side.
you the information, and then you go and decide. You don't have editorial.
So you don't believe what
because
Garza's telling you?
editorial is what Fox News, CNN, CNBC, MSNBC, that's what they've become, editorial. And that's why nobody, it's because it's so red and blue.
So you believe what Garza's telling you on the evening news? Is that what I'm hearing?
That's not even what I said.
I know that's not what you said. So is there a chance for you to challenge? You go, you know what, Dr. Garza? Here's the deal.
You ask questions, and I've asked those questions at times too.
Okay.
It's just you do it. You can't be adversarial. When you ask questions, they come off adversarial. There's a certain way to ask in a polite way. You don't get the answers you may want, but at least you get it.
But then you still
just like
leaving
when
the-
I asked Eric Greitens when he gave me the exclusive interview 3 years ago, did you take a picture of that woman? And his answer was not yes or no. It was, We did not do anything that was not, or everything that we did, we like
Was
did together.
consensual?
It was
Right.
consensual.
Yeah.
It was only until 2 years later that we started to hear, oh, there's no picture.
Yeah.
There's no picture. And I was like, maybe he didn't know at that time if the picture would be found or not. But once again, those are the kind of answers you'll get. I only bring that up from that standpoint.
I know, and the reason I bring it up is because there's an air of frustration. It's like, especially if you listen to The Edge every morning, because you have a Dr. Naputi that would go, "Hi, Dr. Garza, I would like to challenge you on a
But
few
you can't do that in local news. You can't challenge someone. You can ask questions.
I guess you're right.
But if you do that, then they're not going to interview with you again.
I remember when I used to. Well, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say you can still challenge the local news. I mean, you've seen it. You've seen some reporters go through and they'll challenge statements and things like that.
But you can't get confrontational or I think can't push. And only Vic can speak for it. I mean, I can't. So I can't speak for what they do in local news.
What does this mean? Eric is like the girl from 50 First Dates?
And I would agree with that statement.
What is...
She loses her memory and every day starts new and fresh.
Oh, really? I didn't see...
Yeah. Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, she loses her memory.
Oh, no.
He's actually more like 10-second Tom, where it's like, I'm going to get vaccinated. Hi, I'm Tom.
Don't be
Hi,
like
I'm
Tom.
going to get vaccinated.
That's like...
Every day is a new day for Eric.
No, wait a minute. Wait. What was the fish in Nemo?
Oh, Dory.
Dory.
Aw.
Didn't Dory like...
Yeah, Dory she had that short-term memory too.
I'm trying to absorb all of this. I'm trying to absorb
Eric.
all this.
He's had too many amplifiers in his ears.
You'll miss me when I'm dead.
Too many amplifiers.
When you get
ringing in
suicided by
that
the
head.
Clintons.
We missed you Friday. When you
We
left
should miss you
early.
Friday.
You guys are bitches. Anyway.
Hi, I'm Eric.
I play the part of the skeptic on this show. That's all I do. I just ask the pertinent questions.
You're playing a part?
I'm just playing the part.
That's the
yes,
answer.
I've been put in here by the CIA to see what you guys
I wondered
think.
about that.
Okay, well now you know. Happy Flag Day.
Pirate shirts are not really his thing. It's part of his character.
Exactly. I don't actually play the bass either. I'm a plant in that band too.
Well, we knew that.
He plays the bass.
That's all right. You guys are going to jail.
We're going to be suicided by the Clintons.
Oh, that's not even funny. That's exactly where I was headed with that.
We're in their little black book of names.
Okay, we said that we would get into this story, and it is just absolutely bizarre. Okay, here's the deal. I know we had a call earlier. If you want to call in, feel free.
Chris from Wright City.
But maybe
call
he
in.
just wanted us to talk about it. We were already going to talk about it. Phone number 636-695-2915. You can also check it on Facebook at 100.7 The Viper. A story you did not see over the weekend because it would be speculation, which is why it was not covered nationally. But it is interesting to talk about. The Clinton emails reporter, Christopher Sine, 45-year-old journalist, no history of any sort of mental problems, emotional problems. He broke the story of that secret Arizona tarmac meeting between Bill Clinton and Loretta Lynch in 2016, right before Hillary's email probe was dropped. Supposedly killed himself Saturday morning. His body was found Saturday morning.
They always make it look like a suicide.
Yeah, how many people connected to the Clintons have committed suicide?
Every single one of them.
Suicide.
Every single one of them.
It's crazy.
A 45-year-old found dead in his suburban home in Birmingham, Alabama. Now, police say they received the 911 call just before 8:15 on Saturday. They found his body when they arrived at his home. His death is being investigated as a suicide right now, or at least that was as of yesterday. I mean, it makes you think this was back in 2016 when he broke the story.
Hey, just make it look like another suicide, okay?
Well, that was when ex-President Bill Clinton met with Attorney General Loretta Lynch on that Phoenix tarmac.
Yep.
The Justice Department had been investigating Clinton's wife, Hillary Clinton, at the time. The meeting forced Lynch then to recuse herself from overseeing the investigation once it was shown. So what happened after that? Hillary was being investigated. For that use, remember this story, the private email server for official communications during her time as Secretary of State. Does it seem fishy, or is this just one of those things where people are going overboard and wondering what the hell happened?
Come on now. I mean, how long is the list now? I think it's over 100 of their associates that have been
after the picture,
killed in some way.
Well, after the picture surfaced and Loretta Lynch had to recuse herself after being shown videotaped or recorded with Clinton, she recused herself. Then the FBI began investigating. Remember Anthony Weiner in 2015? Well, then because that led the emails to him, and then that's where they found more on Hillary Clinton.
Yep.
Then the FBI director, this is where it gets interesting even more so, James Comey sent a letter to Congress in late October of that year announcing that they had reopened the investigation.
Yep.
2 days before the election, the investigation was closed. And Hillary Clinton lost the 2016 election, if you remember.
Remember
and
it well.
She blamed this investigation at the last moment for killing her election to Donald Trump. So, of course, some observers believe that the timing of Comey's letter to Congress may have cost her that presidency.
I'm surprised they didn't say that it was suicide.
Who broke the story now all of a sudden shows up dead Saturday morning, and it's being investigated as a suicide with no priors of any issue.
Which is interesting because there's nothing to gain or to lose with this guy anymore. This guy is insignificant anymore. He can't do any more damage.
This
is
and it's not about that. It's about the vendetta.
Yeah,
it's a vendetta.
This is just put it on the calendar because this guy's going to be suicided one day.
But think about
and
this.
This was the day, I'm afraid.
We don't have time on this show to get into all of the connections with the Clintons, and I know we have a caller on the line. But
not one connection has ever been made to the Clintons, to be fair.
Oh, there are plenty of connections.
No,
there's not.
Not one with evidence.
Well,
that you
yes
could
and
actually
no.
go.
You mean evidence that's been reported?
It's so circumstantial, but it's so overwhelming. Vince Faust. I mean, how many
numerous?
No, you guys,
it's over the top.
But there is evidence, and back with Vince Foster, back on my old Tabs on Tap show, I used to talk about the Clintons a lot. I'm probably in their black book somewhere. But there was a time when Vince Foster, the files that he had that disappeared were found in Clinton's closet, locked in a box with her fingerprints on them.
Yes.
And you won't hear that reported anywhere.
Right.
And the Clintons are connected to Justice Scalia, who we know died at the Cibola Ranch. They are connected. And the Clintons are connected to so many different deaths. And I used to research this.
How do they
connected the
to
dots.
Anthony Scalia?
Well, that's a long story that I said we won't have to get it time to get into this show.
Be careful when you say things.
Well, I you know what? I've been saying it for years. I talked about it in 2015. I had 3 different shows back then on the Clintons, and I back then explained all the connections. And the connection was through mining, because there was a time when Hillary Clinton had all of the mineral maps as the Secretary of State of the United States.
Okay,
they knew where all of the minerals were.
Yeah.
And Bill Clinton's, I know Bill Clinton's best
uranium,
friend.
Wasn't it?
It was about uranium, but other minerals too.
Yeah.
And all of those ranches in which the Bureau of Land Management took over the land for those ranches.
Right.
Well, Hillary Clinton knew where those mineral deposits were. All of the land the Bureau of Land Management took over had mineral deposits there, and they mined for those minerals. Bill Clinton's best friend is a guy named Frank. And this guy, Frank, I'm not going to mention his last name.
I need a whiteboard right
now.
now.
That's why I said we can't get into it on this show.
And there has to be proof of anything that
and there
you
is
say.
proof. Everything I say there is proof for.
Okay, well,
every single bit.
I'm not saying I don't believe it, just
I just don't have time to discuss it here on this show.
We do have.
I mean, are you reserved to it, Vic? It's almost like, the Clintons kill people if you get in their way. It's almost like
it's like a national sentiment, but once again, it's one of those things.
It's like watching
if there was hardcore proof, they would have been brought up on charges by now.
Well,
but they haven't been brought up on one charge.
And they never will be. Even if there is hardcore proof, there will never be brought up on charges.
I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm just saying that's why you have to be careful about what you say, because if there's not one charge that's been brought up, then they have done not one thing wrong.
I'm not saying and we can't say they killed somebody, but we can say there are connections.
We've got Chris on the line from Wright City who wants to talk about this. Chris, what's on your mind?
Hey, I understand there's no connection between the Clintons and any of the corruption that we all know about as American citizens. However, I think talking about that on this show and pretty much trying to demand this be a national media story, I mean, people should be outraged and want this fully investigated to see just how far this goes with the Clintons. But it'll go completely under the rug.
It will
Nobody
go under
pick
the rug.
anything up, and apparently this guy just randomly killed himself.
Just like Seth Rich, right? Got murdered in what, a back alley. And we all know there's more to that story. But like Vic said, you can't prove it. That's the problem. And there is, trust me, there is proof.
And you can't just all of a sudden start an investigation. Oh, he broke the story on the Clintons over 5 years ago. They must have made him do that suicide.
Right.
You know, I mean,
but you want to know the
conspiracy
challenge?
theory, there could be with 50 possible
Here's
links,
the deal.
but there's still no evidence.
Guess what? In this deep little state of ours, there is somebody that knows what this is all about. CIA, FBI, whatever, and they have no interest in pursuing these rabbit holes. I'm sorry. There are just times
Exactly.
there are just times in life when you're so big on the planet that you have carte blanche access to do whatever you want. This is one of those times. So for us to sit here on this show and go, I'm so damn shocked that one of the Clinton associates just got murdered for doing something against the Clintons. It's not genuine.
And by the way,
it's
from the Facebook Live, somebody said, Vic, you always underestimate Tabitha. You misunderstand. I look at things from an educational standpoint. So no, I don't underestimate. What I'm telling you is when there isn't evidence, we can think here, oh my God, there's 50 people close to the Clintons that have died. And then all of us are going, ding, 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 radar's up, radar up. What I'm saying is if there's no evidence of it, then there's nothing that can be done. Do I doubt deep state stuff? No, but guess what? It's all speculation unless there's hardcore evidence. And if there was something there after 50, quote, supposedly connections to the Clintons dying, there would have been something to happen. And guess what? Nothing has happened.
Yeah.
And nothing will happen with this case either.
But I don't think it's because there is no evidence. I think it's because there
In
is
a court of
evidence.
law, there is no evidence.
But, well, it's not been brought to a court of law. You know, there are plenty. I sat down back with my old show.
Until there's a charge, there is nothing going on.
I understand, but
that's the black and white reality of life, whether we like it or not.
You're right. But back with my old show.
What about Jeffrey Epstein?
And it's the same
Another
thing.
one.
Well, that's the most intriguing of
And
them
is
all.
Jeffrey Epstein really dead?
He's gone.
I think
he's
People
gone.
that were supposedly guarding him are getting ready to surface with their story.
I don't
Okay.
think he's dead.
Look, he's gone. Tabitha.
I don't think he's dead.
It's so much easier just to wipe his ass out
But
than
you know
than
what?
to
I
shuttle
really,
him off to some
I
island
really
in
don't think he's
Argentina.
dead. I saw the pictures of the man on the stretcher. I don't think that was Epstein, and I know that's very conspiratorial.
Which is why I even brought it up, which is why I said, if he isn't even dead, if he is dead.
Right. If he is dead.
He's
If he
got
is
an
dead.
island to go to.
Well, then that's even more intriguing.
And we also know.
How did you sneak his ass out of the
Look
New York?
at Osama bin Laden. A lot of people don't believe he's dead.
He's gone.
If you think about it, our government, I mean, it's not without we know other countries do it. Why would the United States do
Because
it? We know they
because
protect
we
people.
have several eyewitnesses that come out and have told the same story. Obama's gone.
If you have enough
Bin
money,
Laden, sorry.
if you have enough money, you can buy your freedom.
So Bin Laden bought his freedom from the U.S.
I'm not
SEALs?
saying that's. I'm talking about Epstein. I don't know about Bin Laden.
SEAL
but
Team 6. Here's
who
$1 billion.
knows? They're all
They'll have a
dead.
good life.
They're all dead. So who's gonna speak out for those?
Well, the
for
guy
those
that
people?
shot Bin Laden's not dead. He's still on Fox News every Saturday morning.
Exactly.
Yeah, but everyone else is.
Vic, I don't even know where to go with that one.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Do they have cocktails on this show?
Conspiracy Monday is what it
Yeah,
is.
and I know we don't have time on this show. If anyone wants to know the connections between the Clintons and some of these deaths, please get a hold of me because I will
be
point
careful,
out
Tabitha.
how to connect the dots.
Tabitha, please be
If
careful.
they didn't
that
kill
better
me,
be bulletproof
if
glass.
they didn't
right
kill me
there.
in 2015, I must be pretty
Yeah,
darn
but
low on
you
their
have a bigger
list.
voice now. Please be careful.
It's hard to shoot you. You're so low
Because
to the ground.
I am telling you, they are directly
got-
connected to Judge Scalia.
Oh my, that's
I play bass in a
Okay.
band. I don't need
that's
this.
Eric Johnson. Yeah,
Hi, I'm Eric.
Eric Johnson, Brendan Shanahan, Tabitha Hassell with her own views. I'm Vic Faust. Fox 2, you're listening to The Edge. Phone number 636-695-2915. You can catch us on Facebook, 100.7 The Viper. Love it when you share the show as well. We come back, we'll continue to talk about the topics we have been today. And guess what? Our vice president has herself a quandary. She's got Republicans going after and Democrats because of the border. My, oh my. I think she tried to play it one way, and now it's coming back on her on the other way. Welcome to the world of politics.
The day is backlash, people. Keep that in mind.
Hey, don't go anywhere. Back right after this with your morning headlines as well.
The Edge Morning Show. Yeah, we know we don't start as early as the other shows because we're a lot smarter.
Mom, Ethan's on the tree again.
Ethan, get down.
Can I climb on the swing set instead?
Sounds like it's time to get all your adventure-seeking kids to Holiday World and Splash and Safari. They'll soar on Thunderbird, race against each other on Cheetah Chase, the first launched water coaster, and get the thrills they love on all the wooden roller coasters. Get your family fun off the ground at holidayworld.com.
Free smoking! Free parking! Free sunscreen!
Life can change quickly when this happens. When things go sideways, you'll need someone to help handle it. My name is Derek Barker, and I own the Barker Agency. At my office, we spend our days getting folks protection built specifically for them, making your care our top priority. From cars to motorcycles, ATVs to boats, if you can ride it, we can cover it. Even the home you own or the place you rent. You need to make sure you're covered, so when this happens, you're not left out in the rain. Without the right protection, it only takes a few seconds for your life to change drastically. And it only takes a few minutes to pick up the phone and speak with a member of my team to make sure you're protected correctly when it does. Call the Barker Agency at 866-D-BARKER or stop by the office at 935 Waterbury Falls Drive in O'Fallon. Make sure to let us know you heard me on the Viper.
Since 1987, Illy HVAC has taken care of your heating and cooling needs. Call Illy HVAC today at 314-808-2162. 314-808-2162.
Good morning, privates! Good morning, Drill Sergeant! I mean, seriously, what a pleasant morning. The sun is shining and the birds are chirping. You seem to be in a good mood today. Astute observation, Private. Astute.
He's probably happy because he found out Honey Nut Cheerios can help lower cholesterol as part of a heart-healthy diet.
So, in lieu of the obstacle course today, I propose a nice meditative nature walk. Does that sound delightful to everyone? Yes, Drill Sergeant!
Have a change of heart with Honey Nut Cheerios. Learn more about Honey Nut Cheerios by picking up a box at your local store.
Chances are right now you have a chip or small crack in your windshield, and no matter how much you try to ignore it, it's only going to get worse. Spectrum Glass is the area's leader for both home and auto glass repair and replacement, and Spectrum Glass will come to you, meaning minimal disruption to your busy schedule. They're insurance approved and handle all the paperwork. Look, it's not going to go away, so call Spectrum Glass today at 636-294-1800. Spectrum Glass, 636-294-1800.
Now another hour of The Edge Morning Show on KFNS Troy St. Charles. The Edge Morning Show.
Get a grip on your finances with People's Bank and Trust's new mobile banking service. You can now manage your accounts, check balances, transfer funds, and pay bills with ease and all from the palm of your hand. Activate your phone today by visiting us online at www.pbtc.net. People's Bank and Trust. Hometown banking the way it should be. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This is the Edge Morning Show.
Live on 100.7.
The Viper.
It's like I blinked and suddenly all my business shifted to e-commerce.
Now, my business hours are whenever my customers need me.
My customers want everything now and faster than ever. It's a whole different world.
Your business is changing. The United States Postal Service is changing with it. We're bringing you fast, reliable shipping nationwide, and we're bringing it right when your customers need it. Let's discover new routes. Visit USPS.com/new routes. The United States Postal Service. Priority, you.
Start with everyone with a brand new puppy they cannot leave home alone. And there he is now, disemboweling a sofa. Now narrow it to the puppy parents who need to get their prescriptions refilled today. For you, there's Walgreens same-day prescription delivery. Medication sent right to your door from the local Walgreens you already know and trust. So you can spend all day at home teaching your new puppy some manners. Elroy, roll over. Or just sit there and tilt your head. Aw. To join, text JOIN-RX to 21525.
Viper weather with legendary chief meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hi, this is Viper meteorologist Dave Murray with my Monday forecast. Lots of sunshine today. Gets a little breezy during the afternoon, and temperatures will warm up to be about 90 degrees, moderate humidity. But there is another cool front, a dry cool front coming in this evening. Clear skies, okay humidity levels. North wind, 65 for the low. Tuesday and Wednesday, actually pretty nice for this time of year. Lots of sunshine. comfortable humidity levels 85 to 88 degrees Tuesday and again on Wednesday. From the Viper Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray. Now back to the Edge on 100.7, The Viper.
Whipper River Electric, a Touchstone Energy cooperative. The Edge Morning Show.
Local headlines now with Fox 2's Vic Faust.
All right, we got a lot of local headlines this morning. We'll get right to it at 9:01. Today is World Blood Donor Day, and blood donations are in critical need right now across the region and nationally. Impact Life is a provider to hospitals across the St. Louis region. They say during the first week of June, the lowest number of donations were seen. So they're asking people to please get out and donate blood if you possibly can, because it is a dire situation that we're dealing with right now. St. Louis Cardinals baseball opens back up to full capacity tonight. Once again, Cardinals back to full capacity as they welcome the Marlins to town. That might be the two best remedies for a team that's struggling. They're the worst in baseball over the last 13 games. They've lost 10 of 11. They got swept for the second straight day. They're 6 games out of first place and a game below 500. Okay, sorry, I'm just bringing you the news, but it is what's going on with situations with the Cardinals. Also, when you look at stories, federal funds, members of the St. Louis County Council are demanding and deciding right now how to spend $190 million in new federal pandemic funds coming to the county. Some of the ideas thrown out right now, helping stave off eviction for some people, and more ideas to try to get people to get vaccinated. Only 43% of Missourians right now have initiated vaccination process. Do people not really understand the vaccine, or are they extremely vaccine educated? Makes you wonder. Hey, by the way, congratulations. Readers of the St. Louis Magazine have spoken, and Fox 2 News in the Morning has won Best TV Morning Show. And members of the morning crew were also patting themselves over the back because Fox 2 meteorologist Glenn Zimmerman also won the category for Best TV Meteorologist. You got to love that. We appreciate that. Also, Riverview Drive is closing Monday morning until Friday for repairs. Be ready for that. Be careful on waters and rivers. There's a water rescue in the Big River. Family rafting trip goes awry. One person also died on the Merrimack River, 5 injured when a boat crash happened over the weekend. And today is the last news conference from St. Louis Metropolitan Pandemic Task Force Commander Dr. Alex Garza. I wonder if that got Eric's voice. Let's look at your morning headlines. And welcome back to the show, everybody. You're listening to The Edge, the fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. Didn't that first hour go by fast, guys?
It always does.
Holy
Felt like
moly,
5
did that
minutes.
go by fast.
Felt like 5 minutes.
Especially when you get on your conspiracy theory.
Hey, it's not a conspiracy theory. All the evidence is there.
Eric, it just goes by. Eric, it just keeps happening every 10 seconds. So
that's Brendan Shanahan in for Chris. You think you're going to be back tomorrow, or is Chris getting back today?
Oh man, we'll get a call later.
Are they
today,
driving the Smurf blue Lamborghini back today, or are they shipping it?
Well, he flew out on a what is it? A private jet. So I don't think he's going to not take his private jet back home. He's probably going to put it on a tractor trailer or something.
He's going to let Tyler drive it home.
That's Eric Johnson talking.
It's a conspiracy theory.
Tabitha Hassell's here. I'm Vic Faust with Fox 2. Appreciate you joining us. Did you hear the headline, Eric? Today is the last day for Dr. Alex Garza. You guys asked me last week, so what's Alex Garza do? Was that you, Eric?
I've always wondered.
What's he do now? Somebody said, well, what's he do now?
He goes back to his real job of being a
optometrist.
What did he do? I have no idea.
Optometrist.
He blows in people's eyes.
That would be.
He's made a spectacle of everything.
What does he do? Seriously.
No, so that's he worked with SSM Health. I'll look it up. He is having his last press conference today. It'll be the last one.
Hey, you've done a great job. You did a great job. Bye. Don't forget to write.
A sign, once again, of things ending. But at the same point in time, one report I hear, oh, my God, the vaccine's going to get us all back to normal, so everything's great. Then I hear another report, just wait till the fall. Just wait till the fall. I mean, I'm like, my God, I'm hearing it from every which way you can possibly imagine.
Just wait till the fall. That's the name of my new band. Just wait till the fall.
That's
and a bumper sticker at the same time. I'll
That
give you a
seemed
bumper
like
sticker.
it was.
It's so stupid, man. How do they know this stuff? Yeah, of course there's going to be spikes. There's going to be ebbs and flows with all
because
these
of
viruses.
flu. I listened to a doctor from Washington University on radio yesterday morning. It pissed me off on my way to Mass. I probably shouldn't have listened to him talking about how flu has disappeared because of social distancing and mask. That and since we probably won't be social distancing or wearing masks in the fall, flu's going to come back harder and more fierce than we've ever had it before, mixed in with the variants.
Is that who's saying that?
I don't believe that for 1 second.
A Washington University doctor on KMOX radio yesterday.
That's just somebody who wants more control. They don't want to let go of the control they've had.
It's not. But Tabitha, this is what it's branding.
Oh, I get it.
It's what's being funneled down.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to doctors, but many of these doctors just regurgitate what the CDC says.
Of course they do. Of course they do.
And it's like, oh, is that my talking point? Okay, that's my talking point. Then,
well,
and Eric, you say nobody's in it. The stuff that we talk about and the evidence that we uncover and the research we do is every bit as good from what I hear coming out of some of the doctors.
Exactly my point.
And it blew my mind when I was listening yesterday to the questions being asked of the doc and the answers from the doc. And I'm like, oh my God, this is such remedial radio.
Now, was that, I'm not asking for any other reason. Is this the one that they put together to take Rush's place? I can't remember what, Talk STL or Talk St. Louis or whatever.
No. This was a Sunday morning.
A Sunday morning show. Okay. Yes, KMOX. I loved KMOX because you could hear it in Florida whenever you would drive there from St. Louis. It was great back in the day. Now it's NPR. It's so wishy-washy. It's so vanilla.
Well, it's taking information that's given to them and just regurgitating.
And that's not cool anymore. Look, it's not cool anymore because the news, you have to understand something. The news has been hijacked. It's been hijacked by the left. There's no doubt about it. It's not questionable anymore. You cannot question global warming anymore. That is science fact. You cannot question critical race theory anymore. The media has told you that is not something that we're not even gonna cover it, except for Fox. You have to be able to question this stuff. So when you have a St. Louis radio station like KMOX, who just lets one side kind of slip through as you're in your daily drive, that to me seems unfair, unsafe, and un-American. And that's why I like this show. And maybe I do sound like I'm flip-flopping all the time, but I really want to know the answer to these questions.
Well, you're doing critical thinking, and sometimes your critical thinking takes you one direction or the other. And there's nothing wrong with that. We don't all want to agree anyway. But think about this. There's no question that if you're staying at home and you're not going out, all viruses, things that transmit from person to person, are going to go down. Those rates are going to go down. But guess what? We can't stay at home to avoid the flu because the flu is never going to be eradicated. We can't go around wearing masks for the rest of our lives to avoid the flu. I mean, it's just unfortunate. But you know what? The flu, like COVID or anything else, if you're in a high-risk group, guess what? You need to take extra precautions. But the rest of us, I've had the flu a couple times. I've never been in the hospital from the flu.
The news story isn't that. The news story is this. It's like vaccines can stop COVID, but studies have shown that some people get inflamed hearts. Oh, my God. You need to throw that part of the story into the mix.
Too many people do.
Yeah, you need to put that one into the mix.
And what about flu shots? I mean, I've never even looked into, I've never had a flu shot. Are there adverse reactions to the flu shot? I have no idea. Maybe it causes certain numbers of people to have bad reactions. I truly have no idea. Because until COVID, I don't remember ever even caring or worrying about it because no one tried to force me to get a flu shot, so I didn't have to worry about it.
Well, we talk about what happened at the hospital in Houston Methodist, in regards to a federal judge throwing out a lawsuit from over 100 hospital workers who were refusing to get vaccinated, saying that they had to. Of course, it's being appealed. But then you had a very popular Washington Redskin, Montez Sweat, came out over the weekend and say, I'm not vaccinating. You can't force me to do this. I need more information. And the NFL trying to force vaccinations on players, not a good thing. So, and you have this guy coming out, Montez Sweat, saying it as well. So,
do you want 400-pound men out there with enlarged hearts on the field?
It's the last thing that you want, especially with an African-American man, Montez. And he didn't get into this, but when you look at the amount of deaths that have occurred and heart issues in athletes, it's been African American men who have dealt with it more so than any other race. That's just one of those things to add into the whole mix of what's going on with vaccinations and or forced vaccinations.
Yeah. It's just a scary time right now, man.
Well, and vaccines shouldn't be forced, but we know that in schools, in colleges, they've been forcing, various vaccines and booster shots, etc., forever. And look how long the list is.
And we're still here.
When I was a kid, the list was pretty darn short.
I remember getting like 7 shots in one day and coming back a week later for the other 7. And that was we're still alive.
And look at all the years.
We're still here.
We're still here. I know. I never. Some of you guys may have the scar on your arm. Vic, you're probably too young to have it.
Tuberculosis.
No, it wasn't for TB. It was for smallpox vaccine.
Oh.
I never got the smallpox vaccine. I missed out on that
the white
one.
dot that everybody used to have on their shoulders.
Yeah,
I heard a lot about
when
that.
When you're 58 or older.
Is that what it is?
I think, and that hit you.
I know a lot of people my age who've had it, but I switched schools at that.
You missed my joke.
No. Oh, I see.
I got it. No, I
got
it.
now.
You're 58 and older.
Well, I don't have the shot, so it wouldn't matter to me.
Okay.
I didn't get it.
But that's a good point. That's something you think about. It's like, man, to go to any elementary school.
Well,
I remember getting 14 shots moving from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Eric, I have some bad news for you.
I'm listening.
And this is more about
It's Monday. Remember, it's Monday.
Our $1,000 bet.
Yes.
California is opening up 100% tomorrow. Or most.
That
100%.
doesn't mean anything because Gavin Newsom has already said there's stipulations to the 100%
There
opening.
are stipulations, but Californians, I know that there are many who won't. They're pissed and they won't forget.
No, they're in recall-itis right now. They're recalling everybody.
But once, I'm telling you, once you get back into your comfortable life and the sunshine starts hitting you, I'm telling you.
I've heard that traffic is back to pretty much normal in California right now.
So what? People are pissed. This is their opportunity to get rid of this
That was
clown.
another headline.
It's coming, man.
Well, they're
Trust
all
me.
trying to get there to win their $50,000 for the vaccine.
In his next election, he has a chance of getting beat.
Me and you should fly out to LA one day, which I just did.
LA.
And we will we'll just take pictures of all of the tent cities on the highway and all of the tent cities that are in the multi-million-dollar residencies.
I don't mind visiting. I had a chance to live in LA about 6 years ago when I came to St. Louis, and I said no thanks.
No thanks. I did live in LA back in.
Like I didn't want to raise. I mean, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful of LA. It's just
right.
I didn't want to. I'd actually.
Well, you don't even have to say
I'd already
LA.
accepted the job here. Then got an LA TV station was very interested.
You don't even have to say.
And
LA.
I was like, that's all right. No,
it's all over California. I had the opportunity a couple years ago to spend a lot of time there. I was there for about 6 months back and forth. And every day, I didn't really have anything to do during the day. So every day I'd get up and I'd drive along the beach out in Orange County. And I would go to every single beach I would stop at. Every day I would go to a different beach.
That's a pretty drive, by the way.
And it's beautiful drive. And I mean, I would go to Laguna Beach. I'd drive as far south as I could. And every single beach had homeless people, whether they were living in a tent or whether they were sleeping in a van in the parking lot. At one point, I went out on the beach and I took a little nap and I woke up and there was a homeless guy like laying 2 feet from me. Scared me half to death.
It
They're
used to
everywhere.
be San Diego was the homeless capital of the world, but it is truly
You
spread
can't,
up.
and it's worse in LA. But and their problem. I didn't go to San Francisco, but it's really a problem. It's really a problem.
But the thing about it is, and Vic says, "Well, I'm not moving to LA because it's so bad."
No,
you live in
COVID.
St. Louis.
Not COVID. There were other reasons. I meant 6 years ago.
Well, the crime back then would have been one of them,
Well,
right?
Well, it's just
the
reason,
uncomfortableness of that area.
It was just
Hassell.
Raising a family there.
No,
and that
right.
society.
Yeah.
And how everything. No, that's what I meant. It had nothing to do with COVID or crime.
You can only eat Whataburger so many times before you're like, I
don't
gotta
like
get out of here.
Whataburger.
You're nuts.
In-N-Out
moving
burger.
on.
You would.
In-N-Out burger.
You
Yeah.
would be the one person who didn't
I don't like
Whataburger
mayonnaise.
and-
I don't like mayonnaise.
Okay.
You
But
can get them without mayonnaise.
St. Louis, which is where you live now, is the crime capital of the planet.
Yeah, but that's not. Yeah, crime. I wasn't talking about crime. And well,
you need Orange County. Orange County is very conservative. There's a lot of Republicans in
he's
Orange
going
County.
down, by the way.
I hope so, and I think I'm with you, Eric. I still think he's
if
going
there
to be
was ever a
recalled.
bet I wanted to lose, it would be that one. But I don't think I am. He's going to.
It's
finish his term.
California. This isn't Montana we're talking about. This is California. They love this kind of stuff, this drama.
Not enough people.
I don't know.
Enough people. Trust me.
He gave them win for the vax. I mean, he might have won them over. They're all winning money for getting vaccinated.
You know who has got themselves into quite the country, as I was talking about earlier? Vice President Kamala Harris. We're approaching 90 days. She still hasn't been to the border. because she knows, and anybody that was put in that position knows under the current way that we're handling things at the border, it's a lose-lose situation. She knows it. Well, you've got Republicans going after her, Democrats going after her, and now you've also got the head of Border Patrol Union slamming the vice president on national show yesterday, saying that she's advocating for lawlessness. Just days after she concluded her trip to Latin America, her first foreign trip since taking office, she's faced persistent questions about her decision to not visit. Well, yesterday, the National Border Council president, Brandon Judd, said, quote, Harris can't go to the border. If she goes to the border, she's going to be expected to solve this problem. This is a problem that she created. She even came out and said that she's an advocate for illegal aliens. Judge also says she's supposed to be an advocate for citizens of America. Yet she's coming out and saying that she's an advocate for lawlessness. Okay, that's one side. Republicans are all over Kamala Harris because they say she refuses to go to the border and deal with the situation that's there. Now, Democrats, including AOC and her squad, are literally ripping the vice president a new one, saying because she doubled down on telling migrants do not come to the United States, you will be turned away.
Come on.
And not only did the vice president is really put in a bad situation.
She's worse than me.
But don't
She's
think that
flip-flopper.
the border disaster, not crisis, disaster has stopped or gone away just because you don't see it in the national news. It's still a major issue.
Just to piggyback off what you're saying, it's so bad that the state of Texas now is talking about building their own wall system for their own benefit.
Yeah, we brought it up Friday. Governor Abbott saying we got to do something.
Why don't you do it, man? Seriously. What's the point of moving back 50 feet to where you're in the state of Texas and building your own $3 billion wall where every city in the state contributes? It's like what do they call it? A co-opt. It was a co-opt. The cities were actually going to help pay for this thing, $3 billion to finish this wall. Who does not think that's a fantastic idea?
Well, the wall cut down illegal crossings by 92%.
Who in this room does not think that they should start doing that today and show the federal government, screw you? The state of Texas is very unique. They've been telling the state, the feds forever, screw you, stop trampling on us. This would be another example of them saying, we're going to protect ourselves. Knock yourself out with your own federal regulations. But 50 feet off of federal property, we're building a damn wall.
Well, the Biden administration, they are actually promoting law breaking because it is a law. It is illegal to cross our southern border. It is illegal. And I can tell you right now in Canada, if you try to cross the Canadian border, you're going to go to prison. They are not going to allow you to just walk across the Canadian border. Well, in the other way around, the United States isn't messing around. If you're in Canada, if you're a Canadian citizen and you cross the border into the United States across the Canadian border, they will come and pick you up. They have cameras set up all across the border. No fence, but they will know where you're at and they will come and get you. That's not happening on our southern border. And we have to wonder why the difference. Why can you not cross in Canada, but you can cross the southern border where we know terrorists and criminals are crossing? So Texas, they're only upholding the law.
I witnessed this when I used to go into Canada when I lived in Detroit. To go over into Windsor, it's serious. It's a serious process.
It is a very serious process in Canada.
Yes.
So why are they discriminating against Canadians? Canadians can't come over.
No,
but if you're on the southern border,
have
you can.
Ever tuned in that lady? There's this particular part of the border that's apparently just like a bunch of ants walking across the street, and they go right in her backyard. Have you ever seen that?
No.
She's a resident that lives on the Rio Grande, and every single day they have a film crew there, a camera crew there of illegal aliens coming across, and they're like just walking through this lady's backyard.
That's dangerous.
And I'm like, this is bull. I wish I could cuss on this show. This is bull crap. Because what if it was your house? What if you lived on the Rio Grande in the United States of America and your government decided, I'm not protecting you. I'm not doing that. I mean, how would you feel?
Eric, it's so much worse than that. It's so much worse. Did you know that there are highways going through Arizona and Nevada in which they have signs put up? And I've taken photos of these signs that say, don't pick up hitchhikers, because they find the cartels, believe it or not, run these highways in the United States. And I mean, when we allow it to happen, we're not doing anything about it. They run these highways. They find dead bodies all the time along these highways.
I know it's easy for us to talk about this and sound callous. I am. I do. I want to tell you something.
Who says that we're callous?
Me. I sound callous sometimes. I saw about a month ago, I saw at the Wentzville Walmart, I saw a Mexican family. They looked like they were from El Salvador. They had an American driver in this van, and they had a sign outside the van says, trying to get to New York State. Please help. And they had a little bucket there where people were kind of pitching in. This is how they're getting across the United States right now. I was stunned that this was actually happening. I couldn't believe it was like right in my face all of a sudden. I'm not unsympathetic to people wanting to come to the States, but we have got to.
Well, they have to do it legally. We want
be
immigrants.
A way that these people can legally come here.
There is a way. It's called apply for asylum. There are ways in which people can come to the United States. They can apply for asylum. They can apply to be a citizen. They can legally get a green card and come here and work. They can apply for their visa. There are many ways in which people can come to the United States legally.
So why not do it legally? I mean,
I know.
Yesterday we had naturalized citizens at the Arch yesterday going through the process, not just from Mexico, but all parts of the country. Why not do it legally?
I'll tell you why. Because these coyotes, if you saw the Guatemala press conference with the president, he said, listen to this, the day that the Biden administration came into office, the coyotes arrived like pitchmen to bring people to the United States and say, if you come with us, we'll get you.
Because they're making $14 million a day bringing these people across.
It just shows that the dynamic of this thing is so widespread. It's not just people coming across from Tijuana jumping into San Diego. These are people on the backs of coyotes who are the cartels who are making money off of these indentured servants, basically.
And so by us allowing them to come over, our government is literally, we're allowing the cartels to make this money. And guess what? These cartels go back into Mexico and they take money from business owners. They don't allow anyone to profit. I mean, they run the drugs. They've already ruined their country.
And Colonel
now
Joe
they're ruining
Adams
ours.
addressed it several times as well. This is a much bigger issue. Every time I hear the word coyotes, it makes me think of the representative. I think she's state representative from Washington who actually thought there were real coyotes.
An animal.
They were right that they were riding the backs of coyotes. She's like, that's such a lie. That would never happen.
How can people be so uneducated?
They're like
in our government.
This was a representative, I believe, from D.C. I'll look it up.
Many people have said that. It's ridiculous.
How could coyotes be leading them? That's impossible.
Who's training these coyotes?
They're big.
Eric Johnson.
They're more like wolves.
Tabitha Hassell. I'm Big Faust of Fox 2. We're continuing to rock and roll this morning. The fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. And by the way, we do see the compliments on the Facebook line. Thank you again. Share the show. 100.7 The Viper. Back with more right after this.
The Edge Morning Show is coming right back.
Today, I'm taking it to the streets to give people the good news. Oh, excuse me. Hello. I'm Flo from Progressive, and did you know...
No, I'm just waiting for the bus.
So then you have time to hear about how with Home Quote Explorer, you can check if you're paying too much for home insurance.
Yeah, if I was interested in talking to you, which I'm not.
Okay, I'll do the talking, and you just check if you can be saving, which is going to be pretty hard to do if you put on your headphones. Okay.
See if you're paying too much for home insurance with Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
One of the things we're so dependent upon is our automobiles. There's no worse feeling when you go out to your car and it won't start. Oh, man. Tired of trying to find an honest, reliable mechanic for your car and truck? Town and County Garage in Wright City has kept the Westplex on the road since 1972. The biggest compliment to a company is repeat customers and referrals. When you need honest, reliable, and affordable auto repair from inspections, brakes to engine work, call Town and County Garage in Wright City, 636-745-3626.
Hi, Conrad Bellman at Bellman's Car Connection in St. Peters. Right now, we're paying top dollar for your pre-owned vehicle. At Bellman Car Connection, we'll take anything on trade, van, Jeep, truck. Spring into a quality pre-owned car, truck, Jeep, SUV, or van today. The inventory is always fresh, so hurry in today before someone else buys the one you want. Bellman's Car Connection in St. Peters at Highway 70 and 370, where you will never pay the max. Online at carnection.com.
Hey, it's Shanny from the Legendary Lunch, and I want to tell you about my friends at Mascot's Bar and Grill, 4881 Mexico Road in St. Peters, right by the Recplex. And if you are looking for a place to hang out with your friends, it's Mascot's Bar and Grill. If you want delicious food, it's Mascot's Bar and Grill. From their appetizers like the giant pretzel, this thing is bigger than your head, to the steak sandwiches, the value menu, to the legendary lunch special. That's right, Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 3, you go in and tell them that you're FOS, you're a friend of Shanny's, and you want the legendary lunch special. It's a $5 half-pound burger and fries. That's right, $5 half-pound burger and fries. Better than any fast food burger you will ever have. And on Sundays, all day long. That's right, the legendary lunch special goes all day long on Sundays. Stop by and say hi to Jen and Rob. You will have a great time. Musical bingo, food, fun, friends, and family. It's Mascot's Bar and Grill.
Tired of lying awake, tossing and turning, just hoping for a few hours of sleep? Get the sleep you crave with the one-of-a-kind Tempur-Pedic. Only Tempur-Pedic uses proprietary Tempur material that continuously adapts and responds to your body to relieve pressure, so you get deep, uninterrupted sleep all night, every night. The Tempur-Pedic Summer of Sleep is going on now. Take advantage of our best offer of the year and experience your best sleep of the summer. All Tempur-Pedic mattresses are on sale with select savings up to $500. Learn more at TempurPedic.com.
Hi, this is Tabitha with a quick message from Rankin Technical College. A lot of people in St. Charles County lost their jobs during COVID. You might be struggling to find a new job, or you may not want to go back to a minimum wage job. Well, I have the answer for you. Within just 9 months to 2 years, you can earn your certificate or degree at Rankin Technical College. Trade school is not just for men. There is a growing need for females in the trades. Women excel in fields such as welding, IT, robotics, HVAC, and other trades. And Rankin has a campus right here in Wentzville. If you want to learn more, check out rankin.edu.
If you want the best, don't settle for the rest. Come to F&S. F&S Collision Repair provides the best customer service, quality of work, paint color match, and paintless dent repair. They do it all. No job too big or too small. Just what your car or truck ordered. F&S Collision. Call today to schedule your appointment and get that car repaired. F&S Collision Repair.
All right, is that a Q2 or a Q3 expense?
Dwayne's CPA went MIA. To keep his books and his sanity, he needs to find a replacement ASAP.
Hey, Johnny, have you ever heard of a fungible good?
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Here comes more of the Edge Morning Show.
And welcome back to the show, everybody. You're listening to The Edge. Eric Johnson, Brendan Shanahan in for Chris tonight, who's allegedly going to be back tomorrow. Went to Florida, get a Lamborghini. Not a bad weekend. Tabitha Hassell, I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Phone number to give us a call, 636-695-2915. I know we have listeners all across the country, but if you're listening throughout the St. Louis area, boy, oh boy, what a great week of weather we have coming up. Hope you got some plans to get outside. It is a little bit warmer, but it is summer. And of course, try to enjoy the weather because it could be a whole lot worse. And of course, we had lots of rain for a while as well. A shout out in Eric's honor, Ned Beatty. Your favorite movie?
Yeah,
Deliverance.
Wee.
I thought you were going to say Superman.
Passed away at the age of 83. But it is
That's
interesting.
so sad.
It is, well, that's life. That's what happens.
It's the circle of life.
I thought he'd be older than 83 too.
I don't know. It's interesting how there's one role that can define your entire career. And Ned Beatty, for as much as he did, there was one role that defined his entire
Sure
career.
has a purty mouth.
You got
Moving
it.
on.
Deliverance.
Yeah.
The
Pig
movie
sounds.
Deliverance.
He made the best pig sounds.
Yeah, I think of that movie every single time I go on a float trip. Every single time.
Whoa! Do you just hear the banjos?
I hear the banjos playing.
That's a little scary. Tabitha, you're smiling a little bit more. You feeling better because you walked in today really pissed off?
Well, I still am. I'm still very frustrated over everything COVID. I'm more frustrated that we had to go an entire year with these absolutely ridiculous COVID restrictions in which people lost their businesses, lost their jobs. I'm so frustrated. I don't know if I'll ever not be frustrated over the sham that we allowed to be pulled on ourselves. We allowed it. We allowed it to happen. And we're still allowing it to happen.
Something? Why don't you run for office?
Because no one would vote for me.
You have literally edgers right now watching on Facebook that would vote for
There
you.
would be somebody out there looking through the skeletons in my closet, and I probably wouldn't get very far.
People don't care about those anymore. This is not
The
1989.
gag balls are not a big deal anymore, Tabitha.
That's the least of my worries.
Tasing people in the woods, not a big deal anymore. Hiding people who've been mean to your family and tying them up.
Come on now.
Pig style, it's
I've
not a
never
big deal
done
anymore.
any such thing.
I'm telling you, Tabitha, I would recommend that you give it a shot.
Would you vote for her?
I would.
What in the world would I run for?
Man, if you...
Do you know?
I saw this interest.
Eric's all about telling everybody else to run for office.
I know. Why don't you run
And
for
do
office?
something.
I'll vote for you.
But
I'll be
you're
your
not
campaign
wrong,
manager.
Vic, I'm not beloved like her.
Yes,
Look,
you are. That's not true. You are.
People look at me like, I don't know, the guy that should come to the party and stand over in the corner and
That's
drink
not
beers.
true at all.
That's me.
That's not
You would
true.
run for Wentzville City Council and be like, "We love you, O'Fallon."
No.
Eric, you
No.
would be.
No, I'm the guy that goes to
No.
I'm the guy that goes to the school board meeting and go, "You guys are all morons. Why don't you figure out what you're doing and let us know why you're teaching this, why you're doing this, why you're doing
Actually,
that." That's my role.
Actually, you would be more mainstream, being able to get votes from both parties if that's what the position needed. Tabitha would get strong conservatives.
Yeah, and well, I'm not saying go run down in the city. I'm saying run and find a nice conservative district.
I think
and
quite
go
honestly,
represent 'em.
I think
I think you were. You're a leader. You're a leader.
I'm too old.
You're too old.
People need to start out young. Like because
Isn't Nancy Pelosi 99?
yeah, but look what she was very
What
young
is
when
she?
she started out. People need to start out when they're young, and they need to get on these boards because you have to work your way up. I don't have time right now to join a PTA
No, you literally
and work my way
I'm
up
not
to
saying,
something.
No, you don't. No, the people that have made it in this business lately, Cory Bush, you just throw your name in that hat. You just go. And then all of a sudden you get this little groundswell behind you. And before you know it, you're in Washington, D.C. as one of the squad members.
One of the squad members. Yeah, I don't think that I would be the person to do that.
Okay.
I don't think I would get the votes like you might be thinking I would. Like Vic said, it would be conservatives, but I'm not too far in the middle of the line.
You have opinion, you have charisma, you have the ability to wear some high heels to make yourself a little taller.
Well,
you
height
have
says it
people,
all.
You have people that agree with you.
Here's the problem.
You have a strong groundswell of people who are very frustrated with. Well, I think you should. Anyway,
What we
Vic,
need right now, we need a group of young people to get involved because guess what they're up against right now? Did you guys hear the discussion recently in all these different school boards across the country where they're trying to eliminate holidays? Any type of conservative type holiday, they're trying to eliminate
Wait
them.
a second.
They're trying to change everything.
But people have been trying to do this stuff for years, Tabitha.
I know.
Just it's a small minority who try to do it. But I get it because once you just, as Eric said in the get-go, you just start throwing things out there and then
To see what
maybe
sticks,
something
no
can-
question.
because we've seen things stick over the last 5 years that we never thought we would see stick in this country.
And
I
we
get
have
that.
we have progressives moving up in the ranks. They've started out small, they're moving up in the ranks, and now they're getting into key positions. And it's terrifying. They're going to outnumber us, even though they are the minority. They're starting to outnumber us. There was a school board. I don't remember where the school was, and I don't know if you guys saw this. It was on Fox News this morning. I watch Fox National for about 30 minutes each morning, and they had a school board where every member of the school board, it's unanimous, where they want to get rid of these holidays or rename the holidays.
But what was the full story? They're not going to. There has to be something
Well,
else.
the parents, of course, are pushing back, and they're saying, no, we don't want to get rid of these holidays.
Okay, and where?
I don't recall where it was. I heard it as I was getting ready to walk out the door this morning.
But once again, those are far fewer instances. Where they're happening. And you have to
But
look
what's
where
going to
they're
happen next year and the year after that?
That's possible.
As the
Absolutely.
progressives climb the ladder, it's going, and we need more conservatives to run for these positions.
Well,
Tabitha Hassell, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
am talking about young. We need to get the young people
so
out
you
there.
just admitted you're old.
I am old. I don't have 50 years to
That's
get
her birth
involved.
date on your shirt, right?
1776. Yes, that's why I wore this.
That's when she should have been living.
One of
And
the
that's
founding father mothers.
Guys, another major talking about running for office and offices in general. what's going to happen in the Middle East now? Israeli Prime
Bibi's
Minister
gone.
Benjamin Netanyahu is gone.
Yeah.
Not by his own accord, but because he got voted out a 60-59 vote. Just shows you once again how politics works and how political things can get. What was interesting, he used his final speech to basically attack his replacement, saying he's a political lightweight that doesn't have the talent to handle the job, which is a big job. And he also called out the Biden's administration to revive the nuke deal with Iran. That could be some serious political heavyweight stories that are coming out. Now, Netanyahu's been in the news forever. He's 71 years old, been in politics forever. And, you know, there's a lot going on in the Middle East that affects us here.
Absolutely so.
And we've even got, Oman coming out and ripping the United States when she's been raised here and elected here and being called out by fellow Democrats as well.
It's worse. She was an import from overseas in Somalia, I believe, or somewhere over there overseas. And she was welcomed with open arms and she was taken care of. And now she's attacking us.
Well, of course.
This is fantastic. Who doesn't love a success story like that? She comes from overseas, looks at the Palestinians as the oppressed. Again, we're hearing a lot about oppressors and oppressed. And she has literally gone to bat for these people. And then you have the shills like the Nancy Pelosi sticking up for her on national TV. This is getting out of hand. I don't know if she's going to get reelected. I don't know but a lot of people seem to think she's in a very safe
Well, there
district.
are people who support her. I mean, that's why
It's
she
like
got into
Cory
that
Bush.
position.
It's like Cory Bush.
She was reelected.
Yeah, she was reelected.
Okay,
but
so
next
she
There
was
are people
elected
who
and then
support her.
reelected.
Yeah. But you're saying right now that it's right now you have to have a strong team all over the place. Israel is our ally. They are an extension of us. They're like our appendix almost. You got to protect them with every fiber of your being because they are a democracy in the middle of a place that has no democracy for the most part.
But the Iran nuclear deal.
That's even worse.
It's going to be, that's a major issue. And that's why I can't wait to see what happens.
I'm with you, Vic. And I don't think anyone is surprised that Netanyahu lost that position. I'm not surprised. I've been expecting and waiting for it to happen. I think I posted about it last week or the week before. But what's going to happen, what's going to come out of it, I think is anyone's guess. I think that this new person will attempt they're going to have, I think, some new parliament members. I think they're going to do maybe a better job at reaching peace. I really do. I think they're going to work harder at reaching peace.
Naftali Bennett is the replacement. But what's interesting is Netanyahu said that the Biden administration asked him not to talk publicly about Israel's disagreement with what the United States is doing with the Iran deal. Asked him, please don't talk about our disagreement.
I'm sure they did.
Why would
because they
the
want
Biden
everything hidden.
administration-
They're not transparent.
So, of course, Netanyahu talked about it and said, no, this is, if you're concerned about the peace of Israel and peace in the Middle East, he's like, you've got to stop this deal. So the Iran deal, nuclear deal. So that's Netanyahu's opinion of that whole situation.
It's going to be interesting to watch it play out.
There's a lot of things across the world that are playing out right now that makes you go, I wonder what's happening.
Yeah, that whole G7 summit is an absolute joke.
I missed most of that.
It's
I
an
heard that
absolute
Biden
joke.
made a lot of gaffes.
He called Syria Libya. I mean, come on, man.
It was bad, but once again, you didn't see it on national news.
And you won't.
And it happened. I mean, you don't want to pile on your president, but yeah.
We're there. I mean, we're a joke. We are a global joke at this point.
I mean, this is the first time I've heard of a 15% minimum international tax. You're now mandating that every country that wants to be competitive.
And there's so much going on.
It's like screw. The Irish are like, screw you. We don't want a 15% corporate tax on our people. We want to be competitive. We want businesses to come here. And it's such a world. It's a world government.
It is. I was just going to say, it's all about globalization. And that's what this deal with Netanyahu is. That's one more step towards, world domination and world, globalization. And we need to get Colonel Joe Adams back on the show to talk to us about this.
About what part?
Mainly about Netanyahu and the appointment of this new guy. And what we need to talk about is what's going on right now in this country. Do you realize in the past 2 weeks, we've had 3 separate Delta flights compromised, 3 of them in the past 2 weeks.
Oh,
2 out of LA,
I only knew about one.
out of Jacksonville, 3 of them. And I received this message over the weekend from someone that I know personally who told me that FedEx is going through packages allegedly looking for bombs. And I can't prove this. It's just what somebody told me personally.
Damn.
But right now, there are so many terror attacks that are being foiled in this country that we all need to be on alert. Because guess what? They're on alert. They're just not telling us because they don't want to panic everyone. But there's a lot going on in this country, and we really need to talk to Joe Adams about all of this. And I think that a lot of things we're going to see playing out with these negotiations over the Middle East, like the Iran deal and what's going on in Israel, that all lends towards terrorism, as does what's going on with Biden. When they see the terrorists are watching us, when they see we have a weak president, they know it is time to strike.
Yeah, but what about the aliens?
Well, hey, they're here too.
What about the UFOs and everything else that the report that's coming out?
We haven't gotten a date yet for the congressional hearings, but it's coming. What we'll find out, I don't know. I'm waiting for Brendan didn't play the music. I was waiting for it.
So was I. Oh, what do we got going on there? There's no doubt that these are interesting times. And we're seeing it not only locally, but internationally as well. And I mean, whenever it's 12 years of power that Netanyahu had. And we know that the Israeli-Palestinian situation has gone on long before that.
Yes.
But where is America putting interest? Where are we looking when it comes to some of these things that are going on? We've hit a lot of the topics today, that's for sure. The phone number to give us a call, 636-695-2915, 636-695-2915. You can also jump in on the Facebook line at 100.7 The Viper. You can also catch us Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. at viperrocks.com as you web stream us.
And YouTube, don't forget to subscribe
we're
to
still
our
on
YouTube page. And we're still gaining subscribers. We're still on YouTube. They haven't blocked us yet. We've had no further warnings. And you can find us by looking up the Edge Morning Show on YouTube and subscribe to the show. We would appreciate that.
Good job, Tabitha.
We need all the subscribers we can get on YouTube.
Yes, we do. I could not disagree with you on
And
that.
I'm going to start looking for people. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube page, you're going to be in trouble.
Wait a minute. Subscribe to it from where? What you mean, like Facebook?
You can go on YouTube and subscribe to the page. We need to reach 1,000 followers. That's our goal. We're at a little over 100 right now, and we need to reach 1,000 because once we reach 1,000 followers, then YouTube will start promoting our show. So we're trying to get to that 1,000 follower goal.
I was talking to someone in Kansas City a few weeks ago, and they, I told you we had this little gaggle of people kind of around the stage before the show, and they were talking about the Edge. We weren't even talking about music. We were talking about the Edge. 10 listeners, 12 listeners. And I was just sitting there, and one of the people that said, we love to listen to the show. They listen to it on the stream. They want to hear us bring on people with different descending voices.
So. That's a good idea.
We listen to you guys all the time, but at a certain point, I kind of want to understand
I thought that's what
the
your
other
role
side
was.
This is not my role. I don't understand the mentality of somebody that walks into a school board and says, we are going to implant this thing called critical race theory.
Right.
I cannot wrap my mind around that stuff. I don't understand overtaxing corporations to where you think they're not going to go overseas and build cars. I don't understand that. So I think it is a good idea. And John Parker doesn't count. We need somebody to say, you know what, I see what you're saying, but here, let me tell you why critical race theory is important. It's not important because schools do not teach editorials. They teach facts. 1 + 1 = 2. 1776, a bunch of people in wigs put together a letter to give to the British to say we are starting this country called the United States. That's a fact. It is not debatable. What they want to do is implant this thing called 1619 Project, where white people are oppressors at heart, black people are the oppressed. We need to make that equal. No, that is not true. That is not your role in the world, to make our kids brainwashed. Okay? So I think that's what they were talking about. They want to get people on this show
and
that
that's why we need somebody,
to us.
right? And that's exactly what we need.
Right.
Yes, I agree with you.
And say, look, Eric, I see your point. That does sound odd that we're going to teach your kids about you're an oppressor and this kid over here is the oppressed. Let me tell you why that's important.
I agree.
I would sit there on the ground Indian style listening to try to
figure
figure it out.
I would like to know. I have friends that message me and tell me why they think we should have critical race theory in the 1619 Project in schools. but they're not in a position where they can call and talk publicly. So I would
Why
would
not?
Well,
Yeah,
because
why
of
not?
their jobs don't
No,
allow them.
Tabitha,
I know
Tabitha.
they can call in anonymous,
Yeah,
but we don't
Tabitha,
want an
we know that.
anonymous caller.
Yeah,
we want
do.
somebody who
Yeah,
can.
it doesn't matter where you're getting.
Well, see, I think we want somebody who can. I think people have more credibility if they're
can
not calling
say-
in anonymously.
No, if they call in, this is the problem with the people that are testing. And if you're listening right now, there is absolutely no way you would be found out if you're worried about saying of that. You can. There's no way. It's because if somebody.
I agree with you that I don't think anyone would have a clue who they are.
That kind of sounds like an excuse.
And
I'm
maybe
not trying to be mean.
No, it's
I would
okay.
love to
And maybe
get
it is.
people on to talk.
And I will certainly ask them, but I do think I prefer to have somebody with a title who can say, I am this person. You know, I'm educated enough and I can tell you why because I do this, or this.
This stuff is crazy. You had a church going, I can't remember. He was a gym teacher, I guess, and he was in Loudoun County. And he comes up and he uses his free speech and his voice, and you guys know who I'm talking about. I can't remember his name. He comes up to the Loudoun County School Board or whichever one it was, and he says, I am not in a position to call someone who is a female a male because it goes against my religious beliefs.
Well,
he was fired.
Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago.
He was fired, Vic. The courts came in and said, I don't know why you think you can trample on this guy's free speech. He works for you, but he still has the ability to have free speech. Guess what? That school district now is appealing the decision. Instead of going, all right, you know what, maybe we went too far. Something is going on to where the weight of these meetings, these school board meetings, it doesn't mean a lot to these board members.
It's progressivism. Progressives are taking over. I mean, that's exactly what it is. They've started out on the school boards, in your city councils, et cetera, and they're taking over. They're becoming your alder people. And they're rising in ranks. And at some point, if we don't catch up, they're going to beat us. We won't be able to stand up against them.
On to Edge. On to Edge Facebook. Tonight is something because I keep seeing this.
Tonight is something. I can't go.
So she wants me to come and sit Indian style at in Eureka. Something's happening in Eureka.
No, it's the Rock. I think it's the Rockwood, maybe a Rockwood school board meeting.
I know it's a school board meeting.
Is it? Okay.
Because they
I
asked
don't know
us
what
all
it is.
last week to go.
Are you going?
No, I have a golf thing today after the show.
Of course
so
you
I
are.
can't go.
You're all talking,
hey, it's
no
for
action.
Ronald McDonald House. It's a good cause.
I'll be the judge of that. I think there's this one that I do.
Tabitha's going to drink.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, exactly. You can
Not
literally
during the
be you can have action in tonight in Eureka, but you decide to go golfing anyway.
Well, I'm going to have a different kind of
to go,
action.
then
yes.
here's Eric. Here you
know
are.
what?
again,
You're
telling
right.
everybody else they need to go somewhere while you sit home and eat popcorn on the couch.
Watching
watch your
MASH
little
episodes.
doggies.
Watching MASH episodes. I do want to go to this Francis Howell thing. When is that?
When is that? It's in our.
When is that?
Maybe Wednesday. I can't. It was in our.
I need to know.
It was.
I'm
It's
going.
in our message line. You just have to go all the way back to the beginning of the show. If you go back to the beginning of the show, you'll find it.
I think that the blowback is starting to happen. I really do. I know that you guys disagree with me.
I totally disagree.
I don't know why you disagree with me.
Because I think we're going in the
Because
opposite direction. It's going to get far worse before it gets better, if it gets better.
I do know that back in the day, school board meetings would have 3 people in there, and each one wanted to know why the price of their school lunch went up 25 cents. And that's all they were worried about. Now you have like sold out arenas in these school board meetings. To me, that feels like backlash. Does that not feel like backlash to you? And I told you the weight of the world is on these soccer moms who can vote these
the soccer
clowns
moms,
out of,
Eric, the soccer moms and the soccer dads now, unfortunately, a lot of them are the progressives.
I don't think so.
Oh, they are. They are. Things are switching. Things are changing.
Eric, by the way, the gentleman you were talking about, Tanner Cross, the
Tanner
teacher.
Cross, thank you.
He was not fired. He was suspended during that time. There's
Same
a difference
difference.
between no, there's not. Suspended and fired are two different things because he brought up concerns about the gender policy at the school. Well, initially, the judge weighed in his favor, as you were speaking of. So he won. He won, got his job back. Now the school district is still going at, they're appealing the decision to suspend him. I didn't think it was to fire him, but to suspend him still, that they didn't have. Now, eventually it could lead to firing, but that's what happened because he said, wait a second, I'm not teaching the kids something against
exactly
natural genders.
Right.
He
Right.
said there's 2 genders, and that's where the problem happened. Just a,
So the problem isn't that. The problem is that this guy, I think that here's the deal.
the judge ordered his reinstatement. The school district came back trying to appeal that decision as well, because they have certain. And for those who don't know, Loudoun County is in Virginia.
Yeah.
And
Fairfax is there, very liberal. You're never going to get anything past that.
And they're very, very, very well-to-do areas.
Yeah,
Lots of money.
And that's not Missouri. Okay, it's a different part of the world.
And Eric, apparently this meeting tonight covers Francis Howell as well.
I did not know
They
that.
said it's the Missouri Prosper Roundtable. Rockwood parents initiated it.
And I would like to see Governor Parsons there tonight, too.
And this covers all of Missouri.
Good luck with that.
I would
Governor
like
Parsons isn't going to school board.
You literally
throw this
have
crap out there,
you have
Eric.
him on speed dial. We have a
You don't
helicopter at our
throw crap
disposal.
against the governor needs to go to a school board meeting.
I just said it.
Garza's not going to be busy anymore. Maybe he should show up.
Exactly. Garza can show
Yes.
up. Show us the error of our ways. It's important that these people get out there. It is 18 months till the next major election. I think that this show needs to officially shift today from COVID to all of this garbage that is in our backyards, and we need. I just don't feel like COVID is an important thing anymore. I think that this is
Who said it? What, Eric?
very important.
We've already gotten out of COVID, man. What are you talking about? Nobody's fighting for COVID.
I would like to officially.
out of it.
I would like to officially stick a fork.
I just went to the
in
bathroom
COVID.
and there's 2 urinals and 2 toilet seats, and guess what? There were 4 of us in there. COVID's over. All right, people are back to work. That bathroom was packed. I'm going, my God, how have things changed in a year?
Did you? You probably needed a mask though.
Oh yes, I did.
And they even had a bathroom attendant in there
Oh my
handing
God.
out
We got this is a
handing
great
out
show.
cologne
We
and
got to
wipes.
I was wondering.
we got to take a quick break. Don't go to our more.
I want to go to this thing
Right
tonight.
after this.
Come
Go.
on.
You should go.
This is the Edge Morning Show.
Live on 100.7.
The Viper.
It's like I blinked and suddenly all my business shifted to e-commerce.
Now, my business hours are whenever my customers need me.
My customers want everything now and faster than ever. It's a whole different world.
Your business is changing. The United States Postal Service is changing with it. We're bringing you fast, reliable shipping nationwide, and we're bringing it right when your customers need it. Let's discover new routes. Visit USPS.com/new routes. The United States Postal Service. Priority you.
Since 1987, Illy HVAC has taken care of your heating and cooling needs. Call Illy HVAC today at 314-808-2162. 314-808-2162.
Start with everyone with a brand new puppy they cannot leave home alone. And there he is now, disemboweling a sofa. Now narrow it to the puppy parents who need to get their prescriptions refilled today. For you, there's Walgreens same-day prescription delivery. Medication sent right to your door from the local Walgreens you already know and trust. So you can spend all day at home teaching your new puppy some manners. Elroy, roll over. Or just sit there and tilt your head. Aw. To join, text JOIN-RX to 21525.
Did you know 85.6 million Americans live with heart disease? It's important to know your personal risk. Barnes Jewish St. Peter's and Progress West hospitals offer a free online heart health assessment you can take from home. Visit bjcstcharlescounty.org/hearthelp and get advice on what you can do to keep your heart healthy. You'll also receive a customized report to discuss with your doctor. Visit bjcstcharlescounty.org/hearthelp.
Community State Bank congratulates the senior class on reaching this milestone. They offer a wide variety of banking services to suit your needs. Stop in at Community State Bank or visit c-s-b.com. Member FDIC.
Travers Automotive and RV is open at their newest location, I-70 and TR Hughes, with an awesome selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Travers Automotive and RV has Ford, Chevy, Ram, Lexus, BMW, Dodge, and Nissan, as well as new RVs from Mesa Ridge and Open Range, and a huge selection of used RVs. Travers Automotive and RV has the largest inventory of lifted truck and Jeep Wrangler in the market. Travers Automotive and RV in their newest location, I-70 at TR Hughes. Online at traversautoandrv.com. Bentley's Marine and Electronics is open in Lake St. Louis and ready to serve you. Check out their marine section for boat accessories, marine audio, water floats, and supplies. Upgrade your vehicle with a new stereo, amp, speakers, reverse camera, remote start, and more. And don't forget the home theater. Shop local with confidence and let Bentley's Marine and Electronics show you that they meet or beat the big box stores. On Lake St. Louis Boulevard across from Denny's. Online at Bentley'sElectronics.com and on Facebook at Bentley's Marine and Electronics.
Now, back to the Edge Morning Show.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show on The Edge. Eric Johnson, Brendan Shanahan, and maybe he'll be back tomorrow. We'll wait and see if Chris comes back. Tabitha Hassell. I'm Vic Faust from Fox 2, trying to keep you updated on everything that's going on in our area. We also appreciate stories. You can let us know if you're hearing about things that we can also check into, not only here from the radio standpoint, but for me at Fox 2 as well. So we appreciate you joining us and giving us that info as we see it come down. Something else we'll have to be keeping an eye on as well as how this money is spent, COVID relief funding. We brought it up today for St. Louis County and St. Louis City. A lot of money being sent into our state. What's going to happen with it? How are we going to protect our society, our situations that we're starting to deal with? Unfortunately, gun violence is not going away. It wasn't a horrible weekend, all things considering, but there were more gun deaths, more gun violence deaths in St. Louis City and throughout the community, the entire St. Louis metropolitan over the weekend yet again. And it's expected to continue as well as the warmer temperatures happen, because that's what happens every year.
Yes.
So we got 2 minutes. We're almost out of time there. So if you go to any of the roundtables tonight, any of the school board meetings, let us know. Keep us posted tomorrow as well. We would like to know what's happening, what you're hearing. Also, what you're seeing with the mask situations as well in the communities, even though we've kind of given that. And we'll also hear what Dr. Garza, I guess we can say the former commander of the St. Louis Metropolitan Pandemic Task Force, as today is his last meeting.
And he goes back to Lens Crafters.
No, although we have heard they're not disbanding the task force.
Well, of course they're not, because they're getting ready for the 14th and 15 waves coming up.
But it's the last press conference for this current, quote, pandemic. Which leads us into the question, when does the pandemic officially stop and being called a pandemic?
Who knows? They're going to come up with so many different variants and waves, and it'll never be over. They're going to take this out as long as they possibly can.
All right. We appreciate everybody joining us today. For Eric Johnson, Brendan Shanahan, and Tabitha Hassell, I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Have an awesome Monday. Happy June 14th. Let's have a great day. Happy Flag Day as well. Put them out, support them, and fly your flags. We'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tonight for Fox 2 News at 5 and 9.
What are you wearing?
I'm wearing, I think, something pink tonight.
Something
not
pink.
a pink suit, but pink tie.
Wear a flag tie.
You know what? Maybe that's what I'll do. Thanks. I'll wear something reddish flag. You got it. See you tomorrow.
Show is done.
Are we done here?
We are done here.
I'd like to discuss this further, but I gotta go.
It's been real, and it's been fun, and it's been real fun.
Goodbye, 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 goodbye.
KFNS-FM, Troy, St. Charles, and the Westplex. 100.7 FM, The Viper. Legendary rock that really rocks.